Oh, man, I love the game of golf. It was a beautiful day out here today, wasn't it, baby girl? You didn't think it was a nice day today?
Well, I am sweating all over, so no, I didn't really think it was.
Well, I mean, you got to drive the car. You got to drive the car, and it did have the hood on it, so it kept the sun off of you.
Yeah, but it had no air conditioning.
Well, okay, fair enough. So, we're going to get something to eat, right?
Of course.
Cool.
And you're obviously paying, right?
Always. Always. Man, golf is a fun sport. Hey, I drove the ball pretty well today, don't you think?
Pretty well to the far right, yeah.
But, okay, even though I went right, my iron game was really good, and I was able to fight my way out of that.
Yeah, but you hit it into the sand, and you did that quite often, might I add.
Even when I went in the sand, my chip was really tight, so I was able to get out of there and get close to the flag.
After 3 times.
You have to admit, though, my putting game was really good, and it saved me a lot of the times from all of the bad hits I had out in the fairway.
And it only took you 11 holes. Listen, until you get a good golfing game, I'm going to keep giving you shit.
I'm improving. I mean, since I've gotten started, haven't I got a lot better?
Yes, you've gotten better since your injury.
We don't have to talk about my shoulder, but I mean, that's another reason why it's coming along slowly, but, you know, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Sure.
Hey, baby girl, I'm about to go hop in the shower. When I get out, we head out to the volleyball tournament, okay?
Okay. Oh, can I use my the computer?
Oh, yeah, of course, baby. Of course. Hey, baby girl.
Yeah.
Repetition breeds familiarity.
Familiarity breeds comfort. Comfort breeds complacency or success. We're going for the latter rather than the former.
All right, good deal. Handle business.
Okay.
Hey, remember you're a beast out there. Act like it.
I will.
All right.
Let me see what he got in these emails. Spam. Overdue bills. Not surprised. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Young nigga got it bad 'cause he's broke. What is this? Sarah? Linda? Becky? Amber? Amy? Molly? Ginger? Heather? Karen? Oh, hell no. We are not having this. No, I don't want no Pancake Tuesdays. Oh God, delete. No, I do not want your lemon bars, Karen. Oh, my dad's gonna get...
Do you have strong opinions and you're looking for a way to express them? Are you tired of carbon copy sports radio that infests the airwaves? Do you have creative concepts and ideas that you want to share with the world? Then this is not the commercial for you. This commercial is all about
Kinko's University.
That's right. Kinko's University gets you prepared for the podcasting world when you don't have the chops for it. If you're one of the many people looking to get into podcasting, but you just don't have the skill, Kinko's University is the university for you.
I want to do a podcast, but where do I start? And what do I talk about? Kinko's University.
Don't worry, here at Kinko's University, the first thing we teach you about is OPP. That's right, other people's perspective. So you can always have something to talk about, getting it from another source.
Podcasting looks fun, but do I really have to do all that research and show prep? Kinko's University.
Absolutely not. Here at Kinko's, we have classes like No Preparation 101, where we teach you to get around all of that pesky show prep because we know you don't have the time.
I wonder what the best time slot is to get the most listeners. Kinko's University.
Don't worry, here at Kinko's, we have a class called Recycling Ideas 101, where you can find a time slot that works and just jump in that slot to try to make it happen for yourself.
Kinko's University.
I want to come up with new content and subject matter, but I'm not that creative.
Kinko's University.
You'll also take Regurgitation 101, which will help you come up with other people's subject matter that you can recycle and make your own. That's right, here at Kinko's, we teach you how to get around hard work, getting new wrinkles in your brain, and having to work hard at your craft. Come to Kinko's, where you can take these top courses with top teachers. Most people that go to Kinko's graduate with Kinko's degrees, that's right, as master copiers. Kinko's University, for the skilled impaired.
Kinko's University is not a real university and is not accredited. You don't actually learn any skills. You just learn how to mimic people who have actual skill.
Underground Railroad Show with that ninja. All aboard, have your tickets ready because the train has arrived. Delayed or on time, it's time to get on board.
Might want to bring that mic down. What's going on, fam? This is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, that ninja. Appreciate y'all coming aboard on this traditional Monday, kicking off at 6 Central. I planned on being on the air around 5:30 or so when I was speaking to Omar Gooding earlier. I told Omar Gooding I was going to come on at 5 Central. I thought about that. I said that's not going to happen. I will come on at 5:30 Central. That was my original plan. Didn't go down like that, but it's all good, man. Thank y'all for coming aboard and rolling with me. Truly appreciate it. Hope y'all are enjoying the ride thus far. All right, first thing, I had that unfortunate incident on the previous show where things were rolling pretty good. Show died on me. I couldn't get out of my my camera, my mic being muted, my computer kind of froze, system froze. Tried to restart, it froze on me again. So the show was dead that day, which was a shame because it started off well. We had the topic going, flow of the show was going. So that was disappointing. I apologize for that. I believe those things have been remedied. Thank you for coming aboard and rolling with me. Today we're going to go traditional because I'm going to be watching the game anyway. I'm just going to stay on and give y'all a full show. I'm going to give you we're going to go strictly football. But as always, whatever the chat room does, I'm willing to go with you. So nothing is restricted. There are no limitations to your topic. So if you want to go there, I'll go there. But today my intent is to go football because if I try to reestablish the Charlie Kirk conversation, I'm not going to have time for football. So what I will do is address that on another day. Hopefully one day this week. Not hopefully. One day this week, I plan on giving you a bonus show where I will address that and possibly having a guest host. A guest host will be coming soon, but I'm going to try to have a guest host for that show in particular. But we'll see. Tyler, today's show is Imbalance. Throughout the coverage of sports, I'll speak to you about some things that I thought weren't on the up and up or just obvious imbalance in sports that puts a tarnish on an otherwise beautiful game known as football. An imbalance is a lack of balance, equilibrium, or proportion. In this instance, I'm speaking about a lack of balance. And there are different facets of this, and I'll talk about it as we go into each game. But nice, first and foremost, great weekend of college football. Excellent weekend of college football. A lot of marquee matchups is looking at it ahead of time, whether you don't know what's going to happen on the field, but ahead of time you're looking at it like, that's a good game, that's a good game, that's a good game. We got a good game early. We got a good game in the afternoon. We got good games late. And most of them stood up to the billing. And the one I was most emphatic about and the one that I would have, if I was a gambling man, I would have put money at least on the under I don't know if I would have picked them to win right out, but I might have. But I definitely would have put money on the under, and I would have lost big time. Of course, I'm speaking about the first game I want to talk about, Arkansas versus Notre Dame. But before I go there, again, apologies for last show. If you go there in the chat, I'll go there, but we're going to stay with sports. Let me make sure there's nothing I did want to talk about before I move on from that. No, we're good there. We're good there. Okay. Past weekend, there were some games I watched after the fact because I was busy, had a few things to do. And as I spoke about before with my sisters, we've been doing the movie thing. We've been doing, not the movie, I'm sorry, comedy. I discovered they like comedy the way I like it, so we've been hitting up comedy shows. And, something last minute happened this Sunday. Had some things going on Saturday as well. Had some, as I look at the game, we have the Jets about to take on the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to ignore the game and not react to you. I'm going to have reactions, and I apologize in advance. Glad to see Justin Fields out there, and I love the relationship with him and the head coach. Somebody that actually wanted him. And again, long season, looking for the progression. And again, he was concussed the last game because the referees allowed him to get hit in the head. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. One time when he slid and he got hit in the head, which is highly illegal, and the ref just stood there and shook his head. That rule is there, but it's not there for ninjas like Justin Fields.
White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and pledge furniture cleaner.
And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Who told you that?
Nobody had to. I saw it on my own. Let's go ahead and start here before I get into any chat. Matter of fact, let me double check and make sure there are no audio issues. Okay. Nothing there. But in agreement, nobody's saying that I sound like I'm underwater, which did happen last week, unfortunately. Let's start here. Friday night, we had a nice game Friday night. I had to step out for a minute. Came back. Sister was actually kicking it with me, and we watched the remainder of the game. 21-21. 21-21. And we watched it from there on Thursday night. Great game Friday night. Now, I don't think I have an Imbalance reference for this game. Let's just get into the meat of it. Overtime. Florida State with an impressive season thus far. A nice win over Alabama in the opening. Very impressive on defense. And again, as I stated in that game, if the Gus Malzahn offense is ran with the right quarterback and he actually implements the right amount of passing, that shit can be very difficult to defend. It's a very nasty-ass offense with the right people running it. I always talk about how Nick Marshall, to me, looked extremely average until Gus Malzahn came back and put him in the right offense. And I said, oh, damn, look at what we have here. It was a completely different quarterback because he was put in the right situation. He was put in a situation to maximize his talents. So in this, and I think that's what Castellanos is getting the opportunity to do as a quarterback at Florida State. I think that's what Castellanos has an opportunity to do. Being a quarterback at Boston College for a couple of years, he had talent there, but not to the level that you have at Florida State. So it's been nice to watch him get this opportunity. With that being said, the defense was absolute garbage in this particular game. Great game to watch, great game aesthetically for the fans. But if you're looking at it from a football aspect, Florida State, and again, you have plenty of time. You can still make the playoff. You can still make the ACC championship. I'm almost certain to a certain degree they control their own destiny. So they're okay. But in this particular game,
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
they had an opportunity to win this game. So my takeaways: Virginia, first and foremost, great job by the head coach. Forgive me for his name slipping me right now. But great job by the black head coach at Virginia, who's doing a great job there with what I would say is a slaw-ass quarterback. If they actually had a good quarterback, they may have put it on Florida State, quite frankly. They may have had about 2 or 3 more touchdowns if the quarterback was actually good at the art of passing and spinning the football, quote unquote. Now, with that being said, it was a great game to watch, but neither defense was really stopping anybody, and Florida State stopped themselves with mistakes. As a matter of fact, let me just look at it now. 2 turnovers that I remember. I think they had as many as 3 turnovers. Not only that, unforced. Yeah, 2 picks by Castellanos, and I can't remember if either one of those were in desperation times. But 2 receivers put footballs on the ground. What stood out to me is the receivers were running like they were scared. That was one of those games when I was looking at it, and my initial thought, or one of my first thoughts was,
What was that?
looking at the receivers lay the ball on the ground
What was that?
early in the game. And in comparison, and I'm not at that game yet, but if you watch Ole Miss versus LSU, which I'm going to get into, the Ole Miss receivers weren't running scared. Neither were the LSU receivers. Look at what they were doing, and look at the damn receivers for Florida State. I don't know what that was all about. I spoke about this again with Omar Gooding earlier, and he did say that that's probably why my man went to zero exclusively, or always, not always, but most of the time, the majority of the time in clutch situations. That's the only person he could kind of depend on. A lot of people with, shaky hands, and I mean those initial fumbles, I don't even know if those were good defensive plays where you get to punch out. They were just people putting the fucking ball on the ground. The shit was extremely sad for them to shoot themselves in the foot like that. Losing a golden opportunity, they didn't have to drop a game to Virginia, but let's not take away their credit. So Florida State on Florida State first. Offensively, outside of shooting themselves in the foot, they still played a good game offensively, I thought. Castellanos played a good game. Again, you can't turn the ball over with those picks. Right now, I cannot remember if that occurred in desperation time, but either way, interceptions hurt, and that's what occurred with him with those 2 interceptions. You combine that with at least 2 fumbles, I remember, if not 3, you can't win like that. That's not a recipe for winning. That's not going to be in your favor. And with all of that being said, they still had an opportunity to win that game. There were multiple things that happened within the framework of the game, but let me just stick with what I remember so I don't rant too long. Let's just go with the obvious. Putting the ball on the ground, getting the football, and I understand covering the ball up, but literally running like you're scared and waiting or anticipating to get hit. I saw that 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
What was that?
Why are y'all running scared?
What was that?
That was interesting. Now, with that being said, again, they didn't do their best. They turned the ball over multiple times. Instead of guessing, let me just look. They turned over Virginia multiple times. That quarterback turned the ball over 3 times. So they did turn the ball over 4 times themselves. But Virginia gave the ball up 3 times. Everything was in their favor to pull this game out. They were the only person that had well, let me not go there. But they had every opportunity to win this game, and they continued to shoot themselves in the foot. And I felt like the receivers for Castellanos let them down in multiple situations. If some of the catches were made that were supposed to be made, I think a couple of those opportunities where interceptions may have occurred would not have occurred. That looked like pass interference to me, but that's another thing where I see a lack of equity. The way that they call secondary play at the point of attack is so wishy-washy. But again, I digress. Back to what we're talking about. I felt like the receivers from Florida State let him down. Castellanos played a pretty solid game, and I think he would have been well over 300 yards if not for drops, fumbles, and missed opportunities. Defensively, Florida State.
Get your ass down!
Righteously, defensively, Virginia.
Get your ass down!
I think Florida State almost had as many turnovers as they did, so they were somewhat equal in that department. Maybe they had one more, Saloon, sir. Maybe they had one more, but I didn't see Virginia receivers just laying the ball on the ground. I didn't see Virginia receivers running scared. I saw them with a lack of a quarterback, but I didn't see that. That was disappointing. And Zero. He couldn't have handed the ball to you better. That clutch-ass drive when you have to tie the game to go into overtime, he puts the ball in the middle of your fucking zero, nigga. He put it in the middle of your zero. And you bobbled that motherfucker out of bounds and had the audacity, the Negro-acity, to hold a damn ball out in celebratory fashion. What the fuck is wrong with you, sir? You know he didn't catch that goddamn ball. You should have walked off humbly and hoped the replay showed you some type of favor or grace. What the hell was that?
What was that?
You can't do that, man.
What was that?
Great game, but it should have went to overtime. You let your quarterback, your team down. You let yourself down. You let your future income down. I'm not saying you still can't make money, but I am saying that didn't help you make it. Now, okay, from this point forward, I mean, just catch the football. You'll be okay. But my God, that wasn't even a difficult catch. The pass was perfect. You had the receiver beat. You weren't in danger of getting hit. There was no reason to be that nervous and or to lose your concentration. And then to have the DB not even be aware enough to take you to the ground after the first bobble. They should have slapped the ball away or just tackled you. It's legal at that point. You had multiple opportunities all the way to the back of the end zone, and you just ran out of bounds playing ping pong with the fucking football. Like he was out there playing volleyball or some shit.
Help! Help! Help me!
Disappointing. On the side of Virginia, perseverance. Running the ball effectively, putting up passing yards and moving the ball despite the quarterback giving the ball away 3 different times. And let me make sure there wasn't okay. No, just 3 picks. I'm just making sure he didn't have any fumbles, but he gave the ball away 3 times despite them putting up nice amount of yards. But that is an unfortunate loss for Florida State. Definitely a lost opportunity. Florida State, you have to do better.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Receivers.
Struggling.
Receivers for Florida State.
Get your ass down! Man,
You definitely getting a buster.
Man,
Defense for Florida State. Coaching staff for not having your team focused and ready for a hostile environment in Virginia and losing a golden opportunity and not putting yourself in really a must-win situation until the end of the season because you want to ensure yourself a place in the ACC championship, ACC championship, so you can have an opportunity to get in the playoff. All is not lost, but that was definitely a lost opportunity. On the side of Virginia, great job. Great job.
That boy is good.
Great job by the coaching staff. Quarterback, you turned the ball over quite a bit. You did add in the way of passing yards. Make sure I get that right. 229 through the air. He was absolutely terrible. 26 for 35, 229 through the air. That's not terrible. 2 touchdowns. The problem is the turnovers. The ratio, the passings. He had a nice completion percentage and whatnot, but outside of the turnovers, that actually would have been a good job. Outside of the turnovers. Forgive me for moving around. But outside of the turnovers, that would have been a good job. So Virginia moved the ball. They just shot themselves in the foot, and Florida State didn't take advantage. So effective game by the quarterback. I got to fall short of a baller. I can't give you a baller with 3 interceptions. But overall, for the team, good job.
That boy is good.
And Virginia's defense, if I didn't say it already.
Man, you sorry.
Florida State really stopped themselves. The defenses were slow in this game, but nice show offensively, nice aesthetic game for most fans, and an unfortunate loss for Florida State.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Let me go ahead and cover at least one more game. Oh, yeah, let's go here. This will be short. I didn't watch this one till it's in, and obviously I missed the better football contest. I was watching Houston and Oregon State because, of course, I'm following a man that left Duke, and I don't know why. Malik Murphy. I'm following Malik Murphy and hoping that Oregon State can somewhat salvage their season. They've been competitive in the last 2 football contests. They were in the game with Oregon. I mean, that means nothing in the game, but they competed with Oregon, obviously lost. They had control of this game versus Houston and collapsed towards the end. Lost in overtime. Hurtful loss for Oregon State against Houston, losing 27-24 in overtime. Really and truly a blown opportunity. They had every opportunity to win this game. I felt they had a lot of what I would like to call throwaway plays, where you run things that have a very low success rate. It's an equivalent to giving up to a degree. Scheme and play calling is about taking advantage of what the defense is doing. And if you've called something that the defense is literally stacked up to stop, running dead into it is just not intelligent. And I consider that a throwaway play when you don't give your quarterback options, or you're too stubborn, or you're just haven't adjusted to what they're doing. So if it's 3rd and 1 and the defense is stacked up to stop the run and you run dead up the middle, I just think that's unintelligent football. Stupid football if I'm, taking away the nice wrapping and ribbons and shit. It's just dumb. It's laziness and a lack of coaching as well, if you ask me. Coaching is about putting your players in a position to maximize their talents. And I don't think you're doing that if you're not adjusting to what the defense is showing you. That's when coaching comes into play. But Oregon State, there's a lot of football left, and they can turn it around. We're going to see what type of integrity the players have, what type of coaching they have, if they're going to step up, lay down, if they're going to continue to play, if they're going to actually fight, knowing that the best they can do maybe is slide into a bowl game if they go on a nice run. I mean, you're getting the bowls at 500 nowadays. So if they can go on a nice little run, hopefully they can at least make a bowl game that I doubt Malik Murphy will go to. I'd imagine he's going to try to go somewhere where he has an opportunity to shine a tad bit more, because this is an ugly situation for him. Horrible loss to Houston, mainly because they were in control, and I just felt like the coach kind of took his foot off the gas. And when you continue to put your defense on the field, you're just making it difficult for no reason. Prime example, Malik Murphy, 20 for 33, 201 yards, 1 touchdown. I felt like there was a lot of dinking and dunking, not a very creative offense. I didn't think he had a lot of time to throw. He doesn't have the best line. And again, this is on him. It's, as much as I love the portal, I don't look at this as, this is why you shouldn't be able to transfer. Yes, you should. If you make that decision and that's where you end up, that's life. Great life lesson. And again, for him, it's still not over. If he wants to, he can find another situation. As Justin Fields gets the first down, and at least nobody from that team dove head first at him because they know they can. Glad to see that man is healthy and that toe is not a factor. Looking forward to seeing the progression of the Jets and Justin Fields throughout the year. That was my second team that I was going to pick to be my pro team, being that I buried my Raider fandom. Okay, back to what we were discussing. Malik Murphy, 20 for 33, 201 yards. I didn't think there was a lot of creativity in the offense. I didn't think that they stretched the field enough. And at the same time, he didn't necessarily have the time to do that. Doesn't have the best offensive line, and that's where you chose to go. Decent running game, 93 yards on 17 carries for Hatcher. They just have to put it together, man, and get that first win. They got to put it together and get that first win, or that coach is going to get his pink slip before the season is over, if not. Houston having a respectable season. They are undefeated, 4-0, as they defeat Oregon, who is now 0-5. I'm sorry, Oregon State, the anti-Oregon, who is now 0-5. I hate that for Malik Murphy, but it was his decision, and you have more football left to play, sir. It's not over. A game I wish I would have watched. I didn't have a slow down, T. Did not have a chance to review this one either. TCU versus Arizona State, and TCU loses 27-24 in at least what appears to be, on the outside looking in, a nail biter or a good game. And it appears to be that as I'm looking at the score. Nice win by Arizona State, who went on a 10-0 run in the fourth quarter. TCU was undefeated before that, were they not? TCU now 3-1, Arizona State 4-1. Okay. Conference foes in the Big 12. If I remember correctly, Arizona State now in the Big 12. Hope I'm not misspeaking on that. TCU's quarterback Hoover, 20 for 32, 242 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a fumble loss, which means he had 3 turnovers. And when you lose by 3 points, I dare to say that your turnovers played a significant role in that, sir. The lack of a running game for TCU as well. They had 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 from the quarterback, but nobody had over, let me make sure I'm not lying, nobody had over 35 yards. Nobody had 40 yards on the ground. So definitely a lack of a running game. And turnovers when you're throwing the ball 32 times does not help. 3 turnovers from the quarterback, lack of a running game, and TCU only loses by 3 points to Arizona State. Levitt, the quarterback for Arizona State, was 27 for 39, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 1 fumble. Turned the ball over once, didn't hurt his team too much. On the ground, Arizona State had a nice game from Brown, who had 21 carries, 134 yards, probably made the difference. But again, obviously anybody's game with a 3-point game, but a nice win for Arizona State. The Big 12 outside of Colorado right now is looking kind of tight. Didn't mean to take that shot, but it is what it is. Nice game between these two. I did not witness this one. That's why I'm giving you raw stats and no detail. My apologies for that. Good win for Arizona State. TCU. First off, ball at Arizona State.
That boy is good.
TCU.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Let's go, Mr. Fields. Finish this drive. Good pocket. Good pocket. Good pocket. Damn. Through the holding. Yeah. Nice pocket up into that hole. Obviously didn't have anywhere to go. I want to take out there and try to help your lineman just a little bit, but it's all gravy. I've seen them let worse go. Nice running game by Arizona State. That probably helped to seal the win, but again, a 3-point win. And let me make sure I didn't miss that. And only 1 turnover that I see from Arizona State. Let's make sure we didn't have any fumbles. Only 1 turnover I see from Arizona State. All right, so turnovers probably played a big role in that. A nice win for Arizona State. And looks like it's going to be, at least right now, it's very tight in the Big 12. It's early. It's very early. We're going to see what shapes up, but we're probably going to end up with a nice race in the Big 12. Nice little race in the Big 12. Let's go ahead and get into the chat room. Let me introduce who is in here currently. Yeah, definitely. Let's introduce who's in there currently. Slow down. Let's introduce who's in here currently. Get into some of the chat, and then I'll continue with the more prominent games I actually got to see. Some that I didn't because, again, a busy weekend. And that was what I was going to say. Let me give you a little bit of that. Over the weekend, I started and didn't finish it. My apologies. Whatever circumstances, me and my sister got together this weekend on a last-minute thing, and I saw Josh Johnson. Now, if you're a comedy person, I'm sure you've seen that. You may be in this brand of comedy, you may not, but a quality comedian. I watched his beginnings and the way he's progressed and changed his style. And I just like the old school. When you actually do the craft, you get to mature within the craft. And nice play, touchdown. Nigga. One of the worst things you can do right there. That's terrible. Wow. And he immediately signals to the other side. Buzzard luck. Good defensive play. Giving that up on the way in is terrible. That's absolutely horrible. Jets on their way in. Nice hit. Nice punch out. Man came in on the backside. Good punch out. I know you was leaping, man. You got to put 2 hands on that thing. Good play, 2-3. Yeah, that's heartbreaking right there. All right, let's see what the defense got. Nice defensive play by 23 right there. This is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, that Ninja, giving you a football show. Depending on where the chat goes, we can go wherever you go. But I'm going to talk pigskin today, giving you a couple of games. Let's get into the chat. First man aboard the train. Coming aboard saying, great weekend of college football, unless you are a Florida State, Georgia, or Penetration State Nittany Lion fan. Speaking of James Franklin, I know what he's thinking in these big games looking at his players.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired? Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired?
A difference maker at quarterback for Penn State, and even Notre Dame for that matter, would make such a huge difference. And as I understand it, and I think former Buckeye linebacker and current coach of Notre Dame, I think he emphasized this on purpose. He spoke about how he recruited, a couple of players, and they just didn't come there. So the one went to Auburn, and he actually spoke about another player he recruited that they played against. No. I can't remember who it was, but it might have been, who was it? Thank you, Dante Moore. He said he's familiar with Dante Moore, so yeah. Obviously, he's recruiting these players. He just hasn't pulled it off yet. But if they ever get a hold of a difference maker, one way or another, if they get a hold of a difference maker at quarterback, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Once again, coming aboard to train his usual bomb drop for slapping the sauce out of his wife's hands when she tried to apply it to my ribs. Real talk, true story. None other than the great Sidney Jackson. Low life motherfucker. As I look into the chat room, the chat room. Before I even read this chat, Omar Gooding comes aboard the train saying, Kingsford has the Acer working. I'm back as charcoal, nigga. Kingsford is fucked up. Oh, shit.
I hate niggas, bro.
Not Kingsford.
I hate niggas, bro.
I will say I only grill with Kingsford. I never really thought about it. It's just what I did. And when I use a different charcoal, I was not a fan, nigga. I didn't realize how much your charcoal played a role in the taste of what it does to the meat, man. Had some barbecue with some foreign charcoal once. Not a fan. Not a fan. So you're always Kingsford. It just depends on what form of Kingsford. Not a fan of wood cooking. Now, again, I'm saying this, and I've never just strictly cooked with wood, so I guess I really can't say that. But not necessarily a fan of that. I'm good with Kingsford, and I may throw in, maybe some hickory chunks, maybe some chunks of some different types of wood that I've soaked in a bucket so you can get that steam going. I may do that, but it's not something that I have to have. It's not like I tried once and from this point forward, I must have hickory chunks. It wasn't like that. I can take that or leave it. I can take it or leave it. You ain't shit, ABM. But the great ABM is on the train. Kingsford has the Acer working. Sidney Jackson said Virginia's quarterback played terrible. Almost all his passes were off target. He reminded me of Sunshine at Clemson, except there weren't high jumping 6'5" ninjas to bail him out. And not only does he come into the train with a bomb drop, we got to get that one a bomb drop. You know what? That's a great analogy, a great description. That's a great comparison. He looked like Sunshine throwing bad passes, getting praises for it as he's being bailed out by top-tier receivers that went on to the NFL to bail out professional quarterbacks. Great point, Sidney Jackson. Should have a good game tonight. As they're doing sorry. I forgot on this platform I can't talk during matter of fact, I should start over. I forgot that on this platform I can't talk during sound bites. So sorry for trying to talk through that bomb drop. You couldn't hear me anyway. Should be a good football contest tonight. The Jets versus the Dolphins. Fans of both the quarterbacks, obviously. And both of the teams trying to get a win this year. They're both 0-3. But again, the way the Jets have played, I don't look at them the same way as I'm looking at Miami, who actually the last couple of games has gotten better. And that's all you can ask of any team is to get better. So again, it's a long season. I've seen stranger things. We'll wait and see. But in the moment, I'm looking forward to seeing a good football contest. We also have another game coming on this evening, and right now that escapes me. I need to look at the phone actually to remember that. I know I don't feel about this game the same way I do this one, so I'll probably split the screen. Perhaps, but I'll split the screen, but I'm going to be focused on this one. Nice. I don't know what to say about their all black unis, but I don't hate them. But I don't love them at the same time. You know what? I can say this with my chest. Those helmets are nice though. The helmets are fire. Colors are interesting. You know what? I'm going to roll with it. But I really like the helmets. Those helmets are nice. I digress. Those helmets are kind of fly. Thank you for the audio check, Sydney. coming aboard the train with his traditional as you see the struggles of the new with his traditional good evening.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Got my man JBJ on the train. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard, man. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. JBJ says, does Ninja always wear his shades inside at night?
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Sir, I wear them during this podcast because it has multiple advantages, but the main reason, despite the belief level in this, the main reason is if you see my eyes wandering the way I have to work to chat, especially for individuals like you who request sound bites.
Motherfucker.
It just doesn't look right from a visual aspect. I did a few test runs, and it just works better if I wear these looks, sir. JBJ says, does Ninja always wear shades inside at night?
You blind motherfucker. Did you blind motherfucker? Did you blind motherfucker?
Only when I'm doing the show, sir. Only when I'm doing the show. And I did rock shades during the game. It was a night game, but I never took my shades off. Because, hell, I was hitting my vape and my eyes were compromised. And I could see just fine, so I just kept them on like I'm Hollywood. Ironically, y'all call me Hollywood, so hey, there it is. ABM said number 0 had 9 catches for 167 yards and a touchdown. He wasn't the problem. Which game? Oh, yeah. No. He wasn't the problem. No. He was not the problem. I didn't mean to single him out. I'm just talking about that play. You got to catch the ball. He definitely wasn't the problem. Those other receivers were the problem. I just, but at the end of the day, two things can be true. He definitely wasn't the problem. I wasn't putting the blame on him, but I am holding him accountable for dropping that pass. The problem is if the rest of those receivers would have played like him, that play wouldn't have mattered, or they wouldn't have needed that play. So I 100% agree with you. As a matter of fact, let me give a belated baller to 0. Even with that drop.
That boy is good.
Without you, they're not even in the game.
That boy is good.
So believe me, I'm not blaming him, sir. But I have to hold him accountable for that particular play. Sorry for looking ahead. Sidney Jackson said, dude juggled the ball all the way to the front row. This Ninja had 10 yards of end zone to pull that pass in. He did, dude. He had 10 yards worth of end zone. 10 yards. And he was doing a juggling act. A consistent one, too. You gonna play? I'm a rep. He had a lot of time to gather that pass. And again, that shouldn't sully his great night. That shouldn't sully the fact that he was the lone ranger in the receiving core that the quarterback could depend on, which is, again, why that ball went to him. He was open. He ran the route correctly. He just had a moment. But again, if all things are equal or all things are equal amongst the receivers, it shouldn't have all been on him. So I got you, ABM, and I'm with you standing up for him. And thank you for making me acknowledge the fact that it definitely wasn't on him because I didn't give a lot of detail in that game. I'm trying not to linger on one damn game, man. I've noticed I'll do that, and I'll stay on one game forever. I'm trying to do better because I figured somebody like you and the rest of the chat will fill in the details, which you just did, so I appreciate it. Sidney Jackson said, no, I read that one, my bad. ABM said Castellanos had 2 picks and a ground Hollywood. And again, I noted the 2 picks. I did not note the fumble. Thank you for that, sir. That's unacceptable. And again, that led to the loss as well. You turned the ball over as many times as Virginia's quarterback. That's unacceptable, sir.
Man, you sorry.
I can give you one of those and a baller for the positive things you did as well.
That boy is good.
And again, just speaking about it in context, if those basic plays that should have been made were made, some of the instances that led to turnovers probably wouldn't have happened. But, If and buts with candy and nuts, everybody would have a fat ass, so whatever. But at the end of the day, it was nice motherfucking throw. At the end of the day, it was disappointing to watch them shoot themselves in the foot. If you lose, you lose. But when you lose due to a lot of mistakes, especially those early unforced fumbles, it leaves a bad taste. It leaves a bad taste. JBJ said, I guess Ninja has been working and removing that ugly ass Ohio rug off the wall these last few weeks. Sir, if you notice, there's a nice Ohio fleece. There's a nice Ohio State. See, this is a nice Ohio State fleece. You see it? Let me lean back. See that? See that? See that? Ohio State. See that? Nice fleece I got draped across the couch. I'm in Studio B. So Studio B, I'm on the couch and I'm in the garage. So this is Studio B. The Ohio State background is still in Studio A, Man Cave Studios. It's still there. It's still there. Okay, nice contest thus far. I know when shit like that don't work, it's not cute, but that's fucking hysterical. Nice play call. When it works, it's cute. When it works, it's cute. That was nice. Oh, okay. Only thing that's unfortunate in this game right now is Zero not holding on to that ball on the way to the end zone. I see the effort, but again, let's not take it away from 23. I think a lot of times we just look at the running back. 23 made an excellent fucking play when a lot of people in a lack of hustle wouldn't have even been in a position to punch that fucking ball out. So I think you have to take that into account. Sometimes it's just a great defensive play. So again, both teams fighting for their life right now, sitting on 0-3. So, I mean, we'll see what we get. And again, I'll try to minimize my TV watching. Try. But hysterical, JBJ. Hysterical. And again, if you notice, there is a nice Ohio State fleece behind me, sir. So I did not remove or get rid of the Ohio State University paraphernalia. I have so much of it, no matter what room I go to, I will have the ability to give you some type of Ohio State background, sir. I will 100% have the ability to give you some type of Ohio State background. If I remember correctly, JBJ, for whatever reason that isn't available, let me give you a substitute. JBJ said, I guess Ninja has been working on removing that ugly ass, the Ohio State University rug off the wall these last few weeks.
You black, you live in America, you in trouble. I can't get you in no trouble. You black, you live in America, you in trouble. I can't get you in no trouble.
The one you're looking for, sir, for whatever reason, it did not transfer, so my apologies. ABM said Oregon State will be lucky to win 2 games. Bowl game, question marks. Stop the cap. And look, I've seen stranger things, and you can go to a bowl with a 500 record. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't look at their remaining schedule, so you're probably right. But I saw a competitive team, and I don't think all is lost. So I'll wait. I'm just saying I've seen stranger things. You're probably right. But again, I'm being optimistic, Ninja. How about that? I'm glass half full guy for that. But again, you're within your right to say that. JBJ, Zero is a matchup nightmare. He's really a tight end, but they're moving him around. And you know what? That's what good coaching is.
Oh, it's good.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
That bears repeating. JBJ said Zero is a matchup nightmare. He's really a tight end, but they're moving him around.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
As Miami finishes the drive.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
Ooh. Oh my God. Nice throw and catch right there. Way to put the ball where it needed to be, boy. Way to put your damn toes down, nigga. Now those are the catches you get paid to make. Oh, it's early. A lot of football left, but a nice opening. Nice opening thus far. Okay, we got a good Monday Night Football game. There is another one coming up. I may split the screen. We'll see. ABM said Dolphins out here. Dolphins out here in play it again sports uniforms. They're interesting. With me, man, if you're rocking all black, I'm probably not mad at you. There haven't been a lot of all black uniforms I've had a problem with. So I'm one of the few people that aren't really mad at those uniforms. So I'll take that L in the chat room. I'm good with those. But you really can't go wrong with me. If you have a black uniform, you really have to do some off the wall shit for me not to like it. You have to do some off the wall shit. JBJ said, but you decided to be a Falcon fan?
What was that?
I did, sir.
What was that?
But hey, look, lack of details only help the wicked. I specified why I made that choice. Raheem may be booty face, even though I think he might be growing his hair out. He may be booty face, but I'll take a booty face ninja over a colonizer with facial hair any day. Secondly, I believe Michael Penix is special. I think the pieces are in place. I like the fact that they're allowing him to play. I like what they've done on defense. And I think as the season grows, they'll get better, as a team should. And again, that's where I was going. And I wasn't really worried about being a bandwagon. I didn't want to jump onto anything established, but there would have been nothing wrong with Baltimore. Obviously, there would have been nothing wrong with Kansas City, Philadelphia. Obviously, I really like what they do. What they've done with Jalen Hurts and everything. I like that. Green Bay, the fact they picked up Malik Willis, man, they were all in consideration. And I'm not even naming everybody. The Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud and DeMeco Ryans. There were so many teams in contention. But at the end of the day, just following Penix the way I have, what I think they have there, what I think he can do. I just, and again, I believe Fields is special, and I think he's going to show that as well. I just didn't have anything to base it on. I got to see something with Penix, so it probably leaned that way. But again, Aaron Glenn with Fields, and I really like that situation. I think they're going to be okay. But yes, sir, that's the way I went. What was that? That was my choice, sir. That's what I did. And again, I'm not mad at my choice. I'm good with it. There will be substitutes in the name of keeping the show moving. JBJ said, Maurice, stop it before I wake these kids up. JBJ said, the Heat also wear those ugly-ass unis. So the Heat wear a uniform similar to what the Dolphins have on. I'm honestly not mad at that, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at it again. I'm not mad at that. I'm cool with that, actually. But again, I'll rock loud colors, though. So, I mean, it is what it is. I would be okay with that. I'll wear loud colors in a minute. Even though I got hella black shirts, hella gray shirts. I'll rock some bright colors in a minute. Boy, hell of a call. What was that? Wasn't that fourth? Hell of a call. Hell of a throw. Oh, the Bengals and the Broncos? I don't give a damn about that. I don't know if I want to split the screen for that shit. Damn, somebody on the ground. Hate injuries. I don't know if I'm going to split the screen for that shit. I don't know about that. Oh, let's make sure. Okay. We got my man Sluggo, the motherfucking hammer on the train, coming in speaking to everybody. Thank you for coming aboard, sir. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Somebody coming in here hacking shit. As long as I don't see another post, I won't worry about you at the moment. Sidney Jackson reacting to that fumble. ABM said, Jets with a Hollywood. I really don't like that being called Hollywood, and I'm not going to go into the history. Okay, fuck it. A reset for those that don't understand the disrespect of Hollywood. Jungle Brother, the individual that played a huge role in bringing me into podcasting 10 years ago, a decade ago at this point. He played a huge role in that. I told an old football story to where I put the ball on the ground a couple of times. and he dubbed me Hollywood, saying I was showing off and whatnot. And I thought that was like a corny little thing, but he wouldn't let it go. And much to my dismay, everybody in the chat room and in the podcasting world that we participated in decided to embrace that particular modicum, that particular thread, that particular label stuck. So Hollywood is the description of me in my high school football career when I had a game where I fumbled. So anytime somebody fumbles, they dub it a Hollywood. Very disrespectful.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, sorry. That's not right. Oh, sorry. That's not right.
Highly disrespectful. Let's continue with the chat. Sluggo said, Josh Johnson seems to have a large Caucasian audience, but I think he's funny. Hey, sir, and now that you said that, look, before me and my sister went, damn, they got somebody hurt. That sucks. So ideally, we all would have went, but this happened last minute, and it was a waiting list because it was basically sold out. So, she was able to get some tickets, so we were able to go, which I'm shouts out to my sister for. Damn, that is the running back. Dude went directly into his damn leg. His ankle got hung up. Okay, it might not be a knee. That might be his ankle. But again, the problem was he was propped up against his teammate. Unfortunate football shit. Damn. Hate to see people get hurt. Leg got caught up on the body couldn't give because they're running back. That's fucked up. Okay, let's move on. Hey, well, let me not bring attention to it. But much to your point, Sluggo, he does have a large Caucasian audience, and I'll tell you this, that I'll tell you what kind of shit. And I noticed that what he does is he damn, they finna check. He basically mainly things that are in the news. What I said I liked about him as a comedian, he's not like an internet guy. He's taking advantage of the internet and using it, but what he does is he found a style. Before that, he had a way and he told his stories and he did his jokes. He did his punchlines, but I remember back when he was when he didn't have the dreads and he was speaking very fast. Once you get settled in, you slow down a little bit. Now, he may have taken a cue from some people. There's a little bit of Ali Sadiq and that calm delivery. I noticed a lot of comedians are kind of using that, stand-up type thing. You lower your voice, that makes the audience chill out. They listen to you. It's a technique. It's a strategy. But I dare to say he took a cue from what Ali Sadiq does, but he found a style. He morphed into something. He found a way to be relevant and not do what everybody else does. And he does things in his own way. He has a lot of callbacks. And the comedy, what that is he'll start discussing something, veer off into something else, and have a callback on the previous joke. That's something that Dave Chappelle is brilliant at. And I think he influenced a lot of comedians to, everybody's always had callbacks, but Dave Chappelle is brilliant at callbacks. Eddie Murphy was brilliant at callbacks. I think any comedian is brilliant at callbacks. Coming back after that, that's hopefully that's not anything serious. Hopefully that's not anything serious for my man. But again, Josh Johnson, much to your point about his audience, before me and my sister went, I said, you think it'll be 50-50? And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, okay, you're right. I said, you're right. You're right. I said in a perfect world, I'm thinking maybe it could be 50-50, but I said realistically, I'm thinking probably 70-30. So I'm thinking 70-30, the ratio is what I'm thinking. 70-30. When we get there, now the place is essentially, that was a really good tackle because my man high stepped and everything. It was essentially sold out. So that's what you want as a comedy club. Because again, he did bring that element. And the Levity Live, it used to be Stand Up Live. It's now Levity Live, which is a nationwide chain. But it's essentially kind of in the middle of the city. So again, they have to travel, and again, where it's at, it's right in the middle. So everybody from the north side, south side, if you're in the kind of midtown area, everybody can kind of get there. So it's at a neutral spot. But when we got there, we sat down, and we ended up getting there late. So we were, you get kind of the late seating, but it was a great thing because the booth in the back is really the best room in the house. You can see everything. If you can't get close or get like in the first booth close to the stage, the best place to be is in that back row booth because you can see everything. So that's where we ended up getting there late, and that was great. So we got there, before the show started, but we got there. Side note, this has nothing to do with nothing. Where we parked at, there was an overflow because the place was packed. Parked my truck, went in. I was, as I always am, secure. This is a place that doesn't check. But this particular day, I guess they finally started to use a wand. They didn't do that before. So I had to go back and, get appropriate for the club. When I did that, there's basically a homeless shelter close to that area. There was a ninja over there, probably lives in the shelter. And, timing. I'm about to go in the comedy show. He asked me, "Excuse me, sir, could you call 911 for me?"
I see dead people.
Hell no!
You're robbing us, you son of a bitch.
Now, again, it could be a real situation, so I can't ignore it. I would definitely feel bad if I came out and he was sprawled. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Interesting that he can take the quarterback out of bounds and just sling him down like that. That's interesting. But I know the conundrum. I'm like, if I do that, I'm going to have all these damn questions and shit. And plus, I'm trying to get in the comedy show. So I'm not going to leave him hanging. I'll call him. I don't want to do this shit. I call him. And I let him know the situation. He tells me what it is. And she says, I'm not finding that. I'm like, what's it called again, man? They tell me the name. I give it to him again. And now she starts with all the dumbass questions. Listen, miss, I understand you have a job. But no, I'm not giving you my name. And if you don't have my number already with Callway with the little reader, no, I'm not giving you my number because you're going to use that to call me back. I don't know this ninja. It's just in case there's actually a problem. I'm just calling because I don't come out and see him sprawled. What is the problem? I don't know. Do you think he wants the police instead of an ambulance? I think if he wanted the police, he would have said call the police instead of 911. I think he's having some type of issue, but I'm literally walking away. As bad as this may sound, I'm going to a comedy show. I just came out there to get something out of the truck, which isn't true, but it is no fucking business. I'm going back in right now. I'm actually about to get off the phone. Still ask me questions. They're kind of being smart in that way that they do. I know you have a job to do, but that doesn't give you an excuse to act the way you were acting. It really doesn't. Jesus Christ, all these flags. Will y'all stop? Damn, you're over officiating. Are you looking for something? God almighty. Was there really a false start? Calm down, bruh. Damn. Huge lack of discipline. I digress. Is that Jason? Never mind. Let me move on. This is such a sidebar thing. But at any rate, she's asking me all them questions. I'm like, listen, he's there. He said he had an issue. That is his location. That's all you need. And she still was kind of, I have a few questions. I says, ma'am, what I'm about to do, I'm about to go. I said, I'm cutting my phone off, so if you call me back, I'm not going to answer you. Have a good day. And I went on about my business. Okay, I digress. But at any rate, along the ratio line, that's a callback. Like if I was a comedian, all that shit I did, that would be a callback. But at any rate, the ratio actually was 90-10. I say 90-10 Caucasian. 90-10. Which I think is a shame because I think he's funny. And usually a comedian really that can do the things that he can do right now and has the ends that he has, they don't really come to my market. I know that's not a thing for a lot of you, but for me being in my market, I'm glad when somebody comes to my market. So maybe Levity Live has connections. Maybe it's something to that degree, but whatever it is, why did you wait? I don't like this, man. They waited too long to call that. He's about to call false start on the receiver for going forward, but he waited almost 6 seconds. That's bullshit. You cannot do that. Like some motherfucker in the booth did that. That's bullshit. He waited 6 seconds. If you can't call illegal shifts 6 seconds after the fact. Motherfucker, if you're gonna call it, you call it when it happened. What did somebody in the booth tell you something? Come on, man. Get out the game. Jesus Christ. That's too much, bro. You're doing too much. God damn. I'm sorry. That's too much. If you're gonna call that, you call it when it happens. I know why he called it. Y'all don't need to show the replay. I saw it too. You don't call that. 1, 2, 3, 4. He waited damn near 5 seconds before he threw the damn flag. Get the fuck out of here, man. Sorry. But really and truly, the ratio was 90-10. And there was some ninjas in there. I saw ninjas pulling up. But it was probably 90-10. 85-15 at best. And if I'm being hopeful, 80-20. Because there were areas of the club I couldn't see. God damn. There were areas of the club I couldn't see. There are areas of the club I couldn't see. So 85-15 probably at best. And honestly, it could have been 95-5. But regardless of all that, the opener was a ninja. He was funny. He had his own thing. He was funny. He did a good job. So great opener, great feature. Great feature. And Josh Johnson killed it. He killed it. Being himself, using his style. Initially, and I still flexed off the point I was going to make. But he did a great job. He was really funny. Initially, he was just talking about regular things before he went to his normal thing, politics. And when he did that, he spoke about Trump and the UN. The Trump and the UN situation. He used that as his basis, and he went with that. What, acetophenamine? He couldn't pronounce that shit, so he worked on that. He worked off of that. And as soon as he went there, the huge roars from the audience who was waiting on that anyway. But he was killing before that. The shit was funny. So he went with, just using observational humor, talking about his life. Then he went into that, just doing his style. He ran through the whole thing. It was hysterical. Got a standing ovation at the end of that motherfucker. And afterwards, he took pictures with everybody and didn't even charge for that shit. Those are the little things you can do as a comedian to really gain fans that are always going to watch your views. And when you come into town, they're always going to show up. He came in on a Sunday, did 3 shows, and sold out 3 shows. There was a line out to the fucking street when we left there. So, I mean, it was a good show, man. It was a good time. But I hate that there weren't more ninjas there, but we were there. But if I'm being really, really optimistic, it was 80-20. And it wasn't 80-20. It was 90-10. It was 90-10. Maybe 85-15. It wasn't 80-20. But they were in the building. Boy, it was deep. It was deep. It looked like the Ohio State quarterback room.
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
It looked just like the Ohio State quarterback room.
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
And the Georgia Tech quarterback room. Looked just like it. But yeah, he's funny, Sluggo. I agree. Sluggo said a Hollywood to end the drive. You gotta love that. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Unfortunate. But again, I mean, calm down, keep playing football, play some defense. JBJ said, Ninja said, quote, that's heartbreaking. Having experienced this.
Hell no. Hell no.
That was funny, sir.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
JBJ said, Nick said that's heartbreaking, having experienced it several times himself. Flip-flopping this shit. That's another sound bite that didn't transfer, unfortunately. But you're funny, sir. You're funny. And again, I'm working on that. Sluggo said Nick has a producer in the studio. Now, my best friend stopped by for a minute. Best friend stopped by for a minute. I don't appreciate the Hollywood reference in the chat room. JBJ said he's familiar with Dante Moore, but recruited that pedestrian-ass cracker. Ooh, yeah. JBJ is referring to, James Franklin, right? No. Notre Dame coach. And I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. I need my ass kicked. I'll remember shortly, but former Ohio State linebacker. He's either talking about him or James Franklin. But when I was talking about that, I was referring to former Buckeye linebacker, the Notre Dame coach. And again, he had somebody he recruited that, decided to go to West Georgia. And I don't know why, because West Georgia is just as bad as Georgia when it comes to the way that they treat their black quarterback recruits. But to quote JBJ, or to finish JBJ's chat, he's familiar with Dante Moore, but recruited this pedestrian ass cracker.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
And honestly, that's what it is.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
God damn, another jet down, boy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
True. In every sense of the word, you got to be quicker with the recruiting. You got to try to close the deal. Because West Georgia, the atmosphere is better. You're in the South. I'm sure they showed him a good time, but you have to remind him. But, honestly, Notre Dame has the same history. They had two ninjas that were better than anybody on the roster, and they played, I think, that Ian guy or somebody that wasn't as good as them when the bitch-ass coaches at LSU did it. He's the one that did it. So, they have the same recent history. So, what? Who? I don't know. Which way do you go? But I would probably go with that coach. Maybe he'll give you a real shot. He's not the former regime. This regime has shown you that they've done it to like 2 black quarterbacks already. And the coach before him did the same thing. So it might be an Auburn thing or a West Georgia thing. Who knows? Sluggo saying, facts, Sydney. ABM said, if was a fifth, we would all be drunk. Penn State is like Georgia. They will always have a hummus quarterback starting. And unfortunately, you're right.
Struggling.
And to the Penn State coaching staff and decision makers that keep recruiting this type of quarterback, because you can recruit more than one ninja. Look at Lane Kiffin.
You rotten bums! You're all garbage! All of you!
Again, you have the opportunity to do it. You're Penn State. You're Pedophile State. You're Georgia. You're Notre Dame. You can bring in a ninja if you want one for real. You just don't slow down, T. You don't have to have a singular complete quarterback recruit. You can get Caucasian complete quarterbacks. It's okay to do that. But get a difference maker. These average motherfuckers are holding you back. If you get a difference maker, man, the sky's the limit. But right now, your fans, I know you made it to the title game last year, but that was happenstance. And a piss poor job by the committee that made decisions on who was in the fucking playoff. Hopefully they don't do it this year. But again, those coaches, what you're doing to your fans.
You're robbing us, you son of a bitch.
Straight robbery. I hope I finished that reset. I kept wandering and shit. But yeah, that's the origin of Hollywood and the reason for the humor and the disrespect. ABM said, I read that one. Sidney Jackson said Kingsford. And look, man, don't encourage ABM, but I will say that was funny. I can't act like that wasn't funny. It was hysterical. I can't say it wasn't funny. Sidney Jackson, I agree. Sidney Jackson said Kingsford.
God damn!
All right, good job by the defense. Stop asking for help, Tua. Hey, I don't like that, Tua. I don't like when players are on the field looking at the ref saying,
Help! Help! Help me!
if it's legit, but the photo negative quarterbacks, and of course I'm talking about a photo negative of me, but the photo negative quarterbacks, man, the amount of crying.
Help! Help! Help me!
I don't appreciate this disrespect in the chat room. I don't appreciate it. As I look in the chat room, you know what everybody's doing? First Sydney, and now Sluggo.
Sick! Help!
First Sydney and now Sluggo. First Sydney and now Sluggo.
Hey, slow down. Watch your speed.
Apparently in the chat room as I scan, it appears that the universal reaction to ABM referring to me as charcoal is amusement. And I don't appreciate it.
Bitch, are you for real?
Man, you sorry.
I'm glad y'all find it funny. Sidney Jackson said Bengals Broncos is the other game. Yeah, I'm not overly jazzed. I guess I'll split the screen. It's about to be halftime. I guess I'll turn to it. ABM said, JBJ, those are Ninja sleeping glasses. That is hysterical. JBJ said, Ninja. Ninja. Has the vape replaced that little ass J? No, sir. No, sir. But I don't have external activities within the realm of the home. But in the man cave / garage, it may be a different story. Oh, listen to this. Hey, stop it, sir. JBJ, the answer to that would be a no. That would be a no, sir. That would be a no. ABM said the worst part is he. Yeah, that's true. ABM said the worst part is he posed like he made a Hall of Fame catch, knowing he juggled that shit right out of bounds. That's what, the pose. I was like, why you posing? You know you didn't catch that, man. Just walk away humbly. And hopefully they missed the shit. You know what I'm saying? It looks like the Jets are going for the block. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. You already won getting the ball back. You got all the time in the world to put something on the board. You've only stopped yourself. Just play football right about now. One good score, whether a field goal or a touchdown. And, the game's, it's already close, but, ooh, that was what a damn play by 23 right there. You talk about last second punching out. Good strip right there. Good strip. Defenses are really emphasizing that punch out. You got to give people credit for that shit. Sluggo said, JBJ, he vapes at games too. Listen, man, I'm vaping or whatever, but I'm vaping with a purpose. And I wasn't disrespectful with it, but, it's one of the advantages. I hate that play call. 2 minutes left and y'all, okay. You got all your timeouts. That's okay, I guess, but no need for a lack of aggression. I can see getting the play clock going. Okay, that's fine. You got plenty of time, but yeah, you should be getting some right now. There shouldn't be a lack of aggression. Okay, you got the play clock going now. So let's get your ass crossed first down. Yeah, I guess you can line up. I might have went ahead with 3 timeouts. I probably would have used one. Now, after this play, you definitely got to use one. And forgive me for being distracted, but it is what it is. This is the flow of the show. I don't understand that. Use timeout. That's goofy. The clock shouldn't be ticking. What the fuck? Timeout. Goddamn. What the hell are y'all doing? If you run the ball right there, you use a timeout. This is stupid at this point. Y'all got 3 timeouts. What, you trying to take them in the halftime with you? Jesus Christ. What in the Raheem Morris is going on right about now? I don't understand that. No need to play scared. That's just stupid. Use a fucking timeout. That's just dumb. Yeah. I don't understand that. Need to do a little bit better than that. I digress. And this isn't good. ABM said Castellanos led the Seminoles in rushing with 78 yards. The recruited running backs need to do their job. And I agree 1,000%. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. And I feel this way about Georgia ABM.
You're right. It's fact.
That's fact. The truth is for everybody, but everybody might not be for the truth.
I agree wholeheartedly, sir.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
Every player, I don't think you can go through the entire year with your quarterback leading your team in rushes and rush attempts. If he's just dynamic, it is what it is. But when your quarterback leads your team in rush attempts and rushing yards, that's not good. That's not good for the entirety of the season. Your running backs need to do their job, and you need to allow the running backs to do their job. Okay, for instance, and again, I'm wandering slightly. I'm not as critical of the Alabama running game as everybody else. I think not being able to run the ball and not trying to run the ball aren't the same thing. I don't think they have garbage backs. I just think they run a different style of offense where they pass to set up the run, and I think that's okay. I'm not at that game yet, but we're going to get there. But 100% ABM, and as a matter of fact, that is such a profound statement that it must have a bomb drop attached to it. 10-year bomb drop tradition. But great point, sir. Great point. Great point. And I agree wholeheartedly. Chat room, where were we at? Lost my spot for a minute. Let's see. Where we at? Damn. Okay. Decent amount of chat, man. I lost my spot. Okay, this is where I was at. All right, we got my man Rough Buff on the train. Rough Buff, who was very pleased with his Buffalo Bills. Thank you for coming aboard, sir. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Scratch golfer. Come on, man. This is a ridiculous amount of pre-snap penalties. I don't understand. Are they just looking for something, or are they? Come on, man. God damn. It seems like they're nitpicking to me. And again, that's really why I have the theme of Imbalance on today's show, because I saw that shit throughout the motherfucking world of football in pro and college. I need y'all to calm down a little bit. If it's blatant, okay, but calm the fuck down. Yeah. Again, y'all still got 2 timeouts, right? Use the timeout. What are y'all doing? Yeah, I don't like the clock management. At that point, you still got to use that timeout. Yeah, this is dumb. Horrible clock management, lack of discipline. All of these things need to be addressed. And I know you need time to throw the ball to get it down the field, but y'all have to figure something out with that route tree, get a tight end involved. There needs to be an adjustment of some sort, and right now I don't see it. Needs to be an adjustment of some sort. You got to do better than this. This shit is ugly. Roll them out. Do something. This motherfucker doesn't have a damn target. And all these false starts are not helping. Y'all playing like y'all damn hoping that y'all get to punt the ball away with not that much time. I apologize again. This is what I do. Sorry, the game. This is what I've been trying to avoid, but I can't do that and still do the show. It's just not going to happen. Life's too busy for me to start sooner than this most of the time. Okay, use the timeout now since y'all don't want to use them any other time. Okay, you still got a little time to work some. But God almighty. I try to get out of bounds, get a little bit closer. Please tell me he's not hobbling too. Man, this shit here. Boy, it's a hell of a night for the Jets right about now. I digress. I'm sorry. Let me focus. Rough Buff on the train. ABM said a serial fumbler defending the Jets fumbler. Not defending and putting it in context, sir. We got to give credit to the defender. Saying he fumbled is excluding the defender. 23 made a hell of a play. If he wasn't there, the ball wouldn't have came out. So I think it's appropriate to give him credit. 2 things can be true at the same time. He needs to secure the football, and 23 made a great play. Why can't both of these things be said in concert, sir? I like to give everybody their credit. Let's not be lazy like the 4-letter network. Let's give everybody their credit. Rough Buff says Studio B sounds damn good, sir. Glad to hear it. Because I'm going to be out here because this is where activities can take place. Get out of bounds, man. 10 seconds, one timeout, not moving the ball with a lot of urgency. I hope y'all getting this shit back after halftime because obviously you're playing for a field goal. Obviously. And it's only a 10-point game, but my God. Rough Buff, your team is playing well, man. Y'all are fine. They finally realized that they need balance and they're using the running game instead of putting it all on the QB. And they found out what he does well and they're focusing on that. And that's all y'all ever needed to do. So, I mean, doing that will keep the Bills from beating themselves. So now y'all can just play football and stop beating yourselves and let's see how far you go. I will say it must be nice to be Josh Allen to receive an MVP you didn't deserve and to receive credit for being one of the top quarterbacks in the league when you actually weren't playing like that. That's one of those Caucasian advantages, one of those Anglo-Saxon clauses where it's just one of those unspoken rules of advantages that you get. And again, that's part of the imbalance that I saw throughout college football and pro football. Even in the commentary, the imbalance is staggering.
What was that? What was that?
Staggering. Forgive me as I'm watching the game. The ball got to go. Is he going to try to kick from there? Because the only thing y'all can do from here is chunk it in the end zone. If that's on the DB, then they got themselves a field goal. They haven't thrown the flag the whole fucking game. Not on the defense. Oh, they finally called pass interference? And that's some shit. No, they just called illegal contact because that doesn't get you 15 yards. At this point, y'all can't do anything, but I doubt that's the first time they've done that shit all game. Oh, yeah, they're definitely in field goal range. Okay. I mean, 3 points isn't bad. If they get the ball back, I mean, that's something positive going into the going in. They're going to run a play. They're not going to kick from there. That doesn't make sense. Miami called a timeout. There's nothing they can do in 5 seconds except throw the quickest out pattern ever, which is not going to make a difference in the kick. From there, it's already at about 55 or so. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? At any rate, I'm sorry. Let me continue. ABM said, if you're going to give us an Ohio State background, put up the mayonnaise towel or fleece. Sir, yes, it should be on the wall, but I'm just chilling. I'm chilling right now. This probably I could have easily put this on the wall and I would have had the same effect. Okay, you're right. You're right. But I was scrambling. I was late enough, so I didn't bother. So I just laid it across the couch. You get the picture. You get the picture. You have a very plain wall. It's not visually appeasing. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Not at all. Wow, y'all really doing that? That is weird. I guess y'all just wanted to get a little bit closer. I don't understand. Okay, I guess they're a little bit further back than I thought, and they just wanted to shave off those. Man, you shout out to being in the NFL and never working out and not giving a damn about your diet. Shout out to number 6. Shout out to Nick Folk, who doesn't give a damn what he eats. To look that slobbingly in a NFL, you look slobbingly, sir. Okay, they're 2 yards outside his range. That's why they did that. Ah, okay. It's on target. On target. 58 yards with room to spare. Go ahead. Go ahead, out of shape ass kicker. You can have all the damn sweets and goddamn fattening foods you want, sir. Good kick. Okay. 1 score game, ugly ass half. Got 1 drive from the Jets, didn't put it together after that. Think you got to make an adjustment when you obviously can't protect your quarterback in the traditional manner. That would have been good from about 60. Good kick. Good kick. I'll say this, with the implementation of the new rules, kickers are really they're upping their value in the sense of when they're kicking 55 plus, like with ease, you can respect that. because you got 55 now is almost like you're supposed to make 55. It's expected now. You have people that are routinely kicking 55 yards or so now. Having something less than that, you're just not doing your job. I guess I should view this other football contest, huh? Let's see what we got here. And this is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Forgive me for how loose and free-flowing the show is. Loose and free-flowing like a Kardashian vagina. But when doing these type of games, that is kind of the layout. Oh, I see what we got here. So we're right here with it. Well, yeah, fuck it. Let's just split the screen so I don't accidentally forget about what I actually care about here. Let me get this past. Better to do that. And there we go. All right, got my screen split. Sorry about that. Okay, where are we at? I got you, ABM. Rough Buff said, ABM, Jets making too many mistakes. 100%. Facts on that. They are making way too many mistakes. But again, they made those mistakes. They're still in the game. So hopefully they can come out of halftime, eliminate the mistakes, and, have a competitive football contest. Right now, they're definitely lacking. JBJ said, welcome back, Waller. Great catch. Rough Buff said, them uniforms. Rough Buff said, them uniforms definitely glow in the dark. They're different. They're a tad bit eccentric. I'll give you that. But there aren't a lot of black uniforms I'm mad at. There just aren't a lot of them I'm mad at. Hold on a second. It appears I maybe didn't put this on the right game. No, that's on the right game. They're just... So what's going on up here? Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, we're good now. 3-0 Bengals, huh? Oh, that's right. So you got Bo Nix over here, and who they playing? The Bengals. Bo Nix without the benefit. I'd imagine playing Joe Burrow, he's not going to get any extra flags. I'm sorry, Joe Burrow's out. And again, let's talk about that. I don't blame people for being injured, but isn't it interesting how they're not lingering on him being injured and calling him injury prone and all these things? But other quarterbacks get that label very quickly. He was literally pulling on his jersey when he made that catch. I don't know what pass interference is anymore. I really don't. I don't know what pass interference is anymore. I digress. Rough Buff has been consistent on this. JBJ said, Sluggo, y'all should have picked up Pitt's 5th year. Yeah, because it's going to cost you now. Rough Buff said, Ninja needs a pair of them Coach Prime glasses. Then Studio B will be complete. I have some more shades, and I'm going to start switching them out. I'm going to be honest with you. Those Coach Prime glasses, they're too gaudy for me. That shit's too big. Them big blocks, them motherfuckers like the fucking lens on that bitch is like this. Man, that's too much. That's too much. That looked like some senior citizen just left from getting my eyes dilated type of shit. That's too much for me. Maybe he has a different style I haven't seen, but honestly, that shit's kind of off. And forgive me as I'm snacking. Deluxe mixed nuts. Shout out to ABM for fucking up my normal dietary choices. Hey, check it out. I've already kind of broken it already. But I'm essentially going to do a meatless Monday today. But technically, I ate after midnight. So is it a meatless Monday? Yeah. It's all good. Y'all got jokes. ABM said Ninja in full glass half full mode tonight. Hopeful Nick, everyone has a chance. I feel good. You know what? Pretty much being glass half full, but part of that is that again, man, it's early. It's early, man. A lot of football to be played. It's really early right now. ABM said, yep, you rocked the Sherbert Polo for TDSS3. You wanted to make sure folks see you in the nice spot. Sir, it was an orange polo. It was not sherbet.
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
It was not sherbet, sir. I don't know why you insist in call. I know sherbet is funnier, but it was not sherbet. It was a regular orange. And again, looking back on it, I understand the jokes. And of course, I wore a Hey Look at Me shirt. That's fine. That's fine. I wore a Hey Look at Me shirt. All these damn jokes. JBJ, Sherbert Polo. JBJ says Sherbet Polo.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind. That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.
It wasn't sherbet.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.
Avian said, yep, you rocked the sherbet polo. No, I read that one. My bad. Sherbet. Sorry. The soundbite requests are hysterical. And for those that aren't familiar, forgive me for the laughing. JBJ emphasizing the sherbet polo. Sluggo said it's Huntsville, so the ratio would be closer to 95-5 advantage colonizer. Okay, Sluggo, I'm going to be honest with you. At one point, we looked around and said, it might be 95-5 in this motherfucker. Sluggo said Nick was trying to smuggle in his 6-shooter. Sir, I've been to Stand Up Live / Levity Live many times, and I've always exercised my right to bear arms because there was no sign telling me I couldn't and nobody checking me. And if nobody's checking, that means somebody else has theirs. So I'm just chilling. I'm just there to laugh. I mean, unless there are restrictions, I'm always like that. So I'm the same every time you see me. I'm always like that. When I know I don't have a restriction, and I don't have an issue in that regard, I'm not going anywhere where that's going to be a problem. I'm always like that. So I mean, it's all the same. But yeah, but that's the only time I've ever had to go back to the truck. That's the first. JBJ said they already had your number when you called. You should have told him. You should have told him go. That's funny. You know what? I probably should have, but again, okay. I probably should have, but on some level, isn't that wrong? On some level, isn't that wrong? I should have. You're right. I should have. But look, in my mind, it's hard to say this. In my mind, I'm thinking, this really isn't a problem. In my mind, I'm thinking this really isn't a problem. But if it is, I'm fucked up. So, I should have left it alone. I should have left it alone. You're right. But as soon as he asked me, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck, man? This nigga looking at me like,
Help! Help! Help me!
it was a strange series of events, sir. It was a strange series of events. 6-shooter is fucking hysterical. Sluggo said, I was close. He probably hates seeing ninjas come through the door. Sluggo laughing at, I was close. He probably hates seeing ninjas coming through the door. What was I talking about? It wasn't a comedy club, right? Oh, you saying that Josh Johnson hates to see ninjas coming through the door. I don't think so, man. I don't believe that to be the case. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, I'm a comedy snob. I do comedy shows, so I notice all the little shit. His crew, the people with him, they look exactly like you think they would look. The one working the camera is a Caucasian dude that looks like you think he would look. The one that was taking pictures for people over there when he was doing like the meet and greet, he looks exactly like you think he looked. And the one that what was the other one doing? There was somebody else doing something. Oh, the one selling his merchandise looks exactly like you think he would look. So you're right. I'm not going to go that far to say you hate to see ninjas coming, but it might have been 95-5, but I'm going to go 90-10. But no, honestly, if somebody told me it was 95-5, I wouldn't argue. I'd be like, you know what? You're right. It was 95-5. I wouldn't argue. I might as well put this bottom one on the game I actually care about, which that's the wrong direction. 2 more. That ain't right. Sorry, I'm making an adjustment. Okay, there it is. Okay, there we go. All right. I was commenting on something that was said, right? Yeah. I don't think he hates to see us coming, but and again, this you know what? Looking at that, okay, fair enough. His audience is probably usually like that. And honestly, looking at him on YouTube, that's what it looks like too. So, I mean, you're right. You're right. But I'm not gonna go as far as to say, I'm not gonna go as far as to say he hates to see ninjas coming. But it was interesting in that regard. Yeah, there was some there was some his crew looked like you thought his crew would look, sir. I'll give you that. That shit was kind of funny. When I peeped his crew, I was like, okay, that's probably about right. And his demeanor on stage is exactly who he is. So again, he's being true to himself. So I mean, can't be mad at it. He's being true to himself. I mean, can I really be mad at it? So it's cool. He's being true to himself. He's being true to himself. But again, he finds a way to make that funny, so it's all good. Damn, did the half start with a penalty? God damn, did he fumble that too? Please tell me they didn't lose the ball to start. Please tell me the Jets didn't start the half losing the football. Nigga, are you fucking kidding? You just can't do that, bro. You just can't do that, bro. Oh my God. Really? Really? I apologize. Bruh. That shit's crazy. That's crazy. JBJ, once again, they already had your number when you called. You should have told them.
Say, go away, boy, you bother me.
I should have.
Say, go away, boy, you bother me.
But JBJ, if I come out and he's laying on the ground doing a Charlie Kirk, aren't I wrong? Wouldn't I be wrong?
Say, go away, boy, you bother me.
I think I'd be wrong. And I didn't want to. And I knew that Ninja was just bothering me. Maybe he was just looking to get in the bed or some shit because he can't pay for it anyway. I don't know. I could have let it go, but at any rate, man, it is what it is. It was some annoying shit. It was annoying. I will say that. Annoying, unnecessary. Like, why you choose me, bro? Why you choose me? How many people have walked past you, sir? How many people have walked past you that you could bother? And out of everybody, I'm the one that gets the damn, hey, excuse me, sir. Oh, come on, nigga. God damn. Do you really have to do this right now? And this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Again, trying to accommodate. What am I missing here? Is that a timeout or is this a Jets ball? Somebody hurt? Boy, it's a rough game out here today. JBJ, again, I got to make adjustments to some of these things. Where are we at here? JBJ said sherbet polo.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
And he gave me another chance.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.
I tried my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough.
Can you believe this motherfucking shit?
I'm dreaming.
Somebody stop that nigga! I don't even act like this. I'll apologize to everybody.
I played that in a minute. I couldn't find the singular soundbite, man. I had to make an adjustment. ABM said, that's a penalty. That's on the receiver. You can't be going forward before the snap. Fundamentals. Yeah, he went a little forward before the snap. My complaint was, why'd you wait 5 seconds to call that shit? That flag should have came out immediately. Stuggle said, apparently darkies is a banned word. You tried to put darkies in the chat and you couldn't do it? JBJ said, those bots confuse it with the N-word. JBJ said, never heard of Josh Johnson. I had to go look him up. He looks like he's a teenager. No, he's older than he looks. I think he's at least in his 30s. He's like in his early 30s. He remembers life as it was. He remembers life before the internet. He can speak about life before the internet. He can talk about VCRs and shit like that. So he's old enough to remember all that shit. And he didn't come upon comedy through doing skits. He did stand up and went to clubs and grew his craft. I remember when he started, he's a completely different comedian now. So he worked on this shit and he does something that's kind of unique to him. So I got to respect that, especially in a world where, damn, somebody hurt like that? Damn. This is a hell of a game of attrition right here. Game of attrition. Who is that? Please tell me that's not Why'd you twist, man? Why'd you turn over on his leg? Is that Tyreek Hill? Tackle. You did that on purpose, bitch nigga. 27, you did that on purpose. That's a bitch nigga move. 27, you a bitch. There is no reason in a tackle to hold on to the leg and turn. He did that on purpose. I'm sorry. I've done a lot of damn tackling. Obviously, I never made it. You just killed these niggas' season. There's no reason to tackle somebody, hold on to their leg. That is the ignorant, low-life, savage shit that Bill Romanowski used to do. Bill Romanowski, I watched him one time hold on to an elbow, jump up in the air and turn around while holding on to the arm and rip the damn elbow up. Rip that dude's shit clean out of socket on purpose. That's what that whole ass nigga just did. He didn't have, that wasn't momentum that made him turn. The tackle was over with. He rolled his body after they went out of bounds. That was some bitch shit. Somebody should light his motherfucking ass up for that whole ass shit. Let me see. Maybe I'll see it in full speed. I'll change my mind, but that looked purposeful. That looked purposeful. There's no reason to hold on to a leg and twist. There's no fucking reason. That's some whole ass shit. Okay, JBJ said, I was referring to James Franklin recruiting Drew Aller and more. Okay, you're right. And again, close but no cigar.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah, I've been, I'm a comedy. I'm always watching comedy and shit. So like YouTube, everybody that puts out something, I'm always on it. I'm always looking at new cats and seeing, like, in a world full of comedians that are stealing old jokes and they think we don't remember, I appreciate a Josh Johnson. Because you either like what he does or you don't, but he's not stealing old jokes and just recycling them and refurbishing them, which is what 99.9% of these internet niggas are doing. Or they don't have or they don't have shit at all. They rehashing old material. Man, you ever notice white people? You know, all that shit, wish you can have a spin on it, but nigga, come on. But yeah, Franklin said he did recruit Aller and more. So, I mean, okay. That's fine. Oh, there it is. Even despite that shit, that's ugly. Yeah, that's terrible. To come out of halftime and give the ball right back to Miami, you just can't do that shit, bro. God damn, y'all was set up what you wanted to do. You came right out and gave the ball right back to him. Then 27 out there doing the body roll with a nigga's leg. Okay, I mean, maybe you were just going, but that nigga was good and out of bounds. You didn't have to hold on to his leg, bro. I know if you play football, you know people that were that fucked up, or you're at least around. You know somebody that was like that, or you at least played somebody like that. I know what that shit looks like. A lot of people think that shit is just, yeah, okay, man, maybe I'm missing something, but it looks to me like he rolled after the fact. I don't like hoe ass shit like that, because that same motherfucker won't hit a white quarterback that he know he'll get fined for hitting. I don't like that whole ass shit. ABM said, good call. He tackled him to stop the sack on scrambled pineapple. Scrambled pineapple is so disrespectful. ABM said, I can't see James Franklin selling a real brother to come play for him. His social history also hurts his case to land a black quarterback. And again, I gotta drop a bomb. I gotta drop a bomb for that one. And let's rehash that story. And honestly, with the way, let me turn this air down too, because it's getting real in here. I'm not as let's drop this bomb here. No worries. Just had to turn that air down to a reasonable level. Turn those decibels down. Now we're where we need to be. ABM said, I just can't. Yeah, you know what? I agree, ABM. I agree. Let's rehash this story. But ABM.
Amen, preacher.
Let's rehash the story. Ooh, slow down. No, I didn't. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, let's rehash this story. There was a Penn State alumni that wrote a racist-ass letter in the form of being a concerned alumnus. Wrote a racist-ass letter in the form of being a concerned alumnus. Where they said, okay, where a white person wrote in and said they didn't like the hairstyles of some of the black players, maybe some of the chains they may or may not have worn, basically things that were involved with black culture. And they don't understand the ignorance, stupidity, privilege, and short-sightedness in them looking at a black. I really like it better when your hair is at a shorter level. I mean, do you have to wear that type of chain? I'd like it better if you didn't wear that. I won't go there, but the letter was along those lines, and a lot of things that said in it were even worse than that, very ignorant. And tried to sell it off as like concerned alumni addressing, how they feel or whatever. So because of this, the team, this is a moment, an opportunity for team bonding. As a team, God, is that the Jets still with a false start? Jets are playing very undisciplined football right now. That shit's crazy. If I saw what I saw right, that's probably Tyreek Hill's season. And forgive me, looking to see if they can get a playoff without a goddamn flag. All right, let's see if there's any laundry at the end of this one. Okay, maybe they can play some football now. Jesus Christ. I digress. But in this moment, the players bonded together and wore T-shirts that said, we wear dreads, we wear locks, we wear chains, maybe a couple things for the white players. We are Penn State. Very neutral shirt, true shirt, a shirt he should have supported. And when they were out in the pregame, everybody on the team wearing this shirt, they came together as a team to stand together against ignorance. His response was to run onto the field in a panic, screaming at them, made them go back in the locker room and change the shirts. James Franklin.
What was that?
I ripped him a new one for that. You had an opportunity for team bonding. You have an opportunity to actually be a man as well. That would have been nice. But he had an opportunity for all of those things, and he just threw it away. He just threw it away. I guess in the name of appearance. I'm not sure what it was for, but I think it was probably, he probably felt this way.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired? Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired?
Not getting this first down is not even an option, New York. It's not even an option. Matter of fact, I got this with this different. Well, you know what, leader B. Not really an option. God damn. Lucky this nigga got some damn athletic ability. Hopefully they don't hit him with another fucking flag. He trying to score as he should. Get in the end zone, nigga. Can we get some without some laundry? All right, there we go. All right, back in the damn game. Woo-wee. Ooh, nothing but ability right there. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do about that, coach. That's called ability. That's just ability. All right, now we're doing something. It's a one-score game despite all that terrible shit. Y'all just need something positive to happen. Sean, what's up, Justin? Good job not blocking in the back. Thank you for not giving them a reason to throw the damn. Right there at the end, who's the dumbass? Who's 89? 89 is the dumbest motherfucker on planet Earth. Look at 89. Justin Fields didn't need that. What if they decided to throw a flag? 89, you're one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Do you not see the way the game is going? They easily could have threw a flag for that. What a dumbass. That was so damn stupid. Good play, Justin. That was all you. Like that clip they showing on the internet where the damn running back ran for about 60, 70 yards, and Chris Collinsworth said that was all Josh Allen. That was all Justin Fields, motherfucker. But ABM, to your point, great point. Because of what he did that day, I lost respect for him. And it just showed who he really is. And if that's who you are, that's fine. But I'd imagine, as you said, that would make it tough. And that deserves a bomb drop. Damn shame, James Franklin. Damn shame, sir. Sidney Jackson said ABM money. And a lot of it would be the only way. Okay, yeah. Okay. Sidney Jackson said ABM money. And a lot of it would be the only way. The way that he could get one of those quarterbacks is to give him money. Yeah, you're right. I mean, hell, it would be worth it. Miami foolishly gave Beck way more than he was worth if we're talking about his ability on the field. And even now, because of the imbalance in commentary, they're pretending like Beck is doing something special in Miami. And those that don't understand football and mimic everything said by the television, they're repeating that goofy shit.
What was that?
Carson Beck leading the Miami Hurricanes to prominence in college football.
What was that?
There is such an imbalance in the way that sports are covered by the commentators. It's like it's gotten worse with the infestation and spreading of the ignorance that is the MAGA-loving, terrorist-supporting, non-bathing, sister-fondling portion of the country. There's such an imbalance in the way that they function and that the way we are. Again, I wish at times we were who they depicted us to be, because a lot of these problems would take care of themselves if we were. I digress. But at times, I wish we were who we were depicted to be, because if such was the case, a lot of these problems would take care of themselves. But unfortunately and fortunately, Black people are spiritual people. And because of that, the proper response isn't always administered. Tyreek Hill, the victim of a dirty-ass play by a bitch-ass ninja, in my humble opinion. And if I look at the play in full speed and change my mind, I may, but I know people that used to do that. Well, I'll tell you, that is, wow. You don't got to do this, JBJ. Oh, damn, I'm sorry. That is funny. JBJ said, quote, I vape with a purpose.
Something wrong? Yeah. It's just too bad you don't know what it is. Brother.
JBJ, I vape with a, quote unquote, I vape with a purpose.
Something wrong? Yeah. It's just too bad you don't know what it is. Brother.
Hysterical. Okay, look at the human coach drawing some shit up. Look at the human coach drawing some shit up. I think the human coach must have heard ABM and decided he need to actually draw up some plays. It's not like you don't have more receivers out there, human coach. All right, so let's see. We're going to find out if this man can coach or not. ABM said the Jets stink. 54 yards passing is awful. ABM, it's not awful. It's unacceptable and deplorable. It's unacceptable and deplorable. But while you're working through it, try to win the game. You just injured their top receiver. You got a little bit of momentum, even though it's not in a traditional sense, just a dynamic play from your quarterback. But at the end of the day, with as terrible as they're playing, they're within a score. So what you want to do here is hold these motherfuckers and try to get back in the game. It's only third quarter. So yeah, what I'll say is they're playing awful. Let's say that. They're playing terribly. But if you can win an ugly ass game playing terribly, it's positive, and there's a lot of football left. And regardless, you're still better off, doing things correctly, getting better, winning, regardless of whether you have a playoff destination or not. You're better off heading in that direction during the season if you want to eventually be a better team. So there are certain things you should see with the way the team plays. But they really have to tighten up on that lack of discipline. All these pre-snap penalties are fucking crazy. Now, I'm not going to the illegal motion, that's a lack of discipline. And a lot of those receivers on the cross motion do that. That's a lack of discipline. The other things, if they would have shown me a replay, I wouldn't have anything to say, but they've gotten into that NBA habit of not showing the replay of the penalty like they used to. Damn, a man that doesn't, okay. Come on! I don't even think he got hit. Didn't they jump over the nigga? Didn't they jump over him? Okay, never mind. I don't even think he actually got hit. I swear they jumped over him. You threw the flag like reactionary. Did he get hit? Or did they jump over him? No, they kind of hit him, but that was in the court. They kind of hit him. Yeah, they hit him. Okay, I guess Tunga can get that call because Justin Fields did the same thing, only it was a hell of a lot worse than that. The motherfucker dove directly into his fucking head. The one Justin, that's the reason why he was on fucking concussion protocol. Yeah, well, that's 15 yards. That's stupid football. Doing it on defense and offense. Can't win doing that stupid shit. Y'all about to make that dynamic play from Justin mean absolutely nothing. Oh, yeah, I read that one. My bad. JBJ said, kicker is old as hell. He doesn't have the leg, but they should at least try. And after this, that old motherfucker made the kick. Sydney said, Coach Prime wearing those Iron Eagle fighter pilot goggles. I'd agree. Like just looking at them, I'm like, those aren't even, I'd like to support them, but those are a little bit too gaudy for me. They look like the glasses the women wear that are just big as hell, and the lens is like this and shit. That's what it looks like to me. That's too much. What? Regular orange, ABM, naranja. I had on naranja camisa. Camisa naranja. I had on an orange shirt. It wasn't sherbet, motherfucker. Sherbet just sounds soft and moist. I was not wearing a sherbet shirt. Sherbet is a very light orange, you know what I'm saying, kind of a Miami summer color. That is not what I had on. Y'all damn sure didn't need to give him 15 yards, at least hold him to a damn field goal. Jesus. That's fucking pathetic. I'll say this, the human coach has finally drawn some shit up. Because before, they were really looking lost when they couldn't run their, when they couldn't do the normal. Jesus, this on the Jets. God damn, boy, how many penalties do the Jets have in this fucking game? They want to get that first down regardless. What do you call holding? Jesus Christ, that's weak. If you're calling it like that, there should have been so many flags on both sides. I mean, that contact is happening with every receiver on every play. That's really weak. I swear it just seems like they're trying to call shit. There are just certain quarterbacks, like the league seems like they hate it from the beginning and the media knew it and they were right there with them. It's like Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins, they never liked them niggas from the beginning. It didn't matter what they did, they hated those motherfuckers. Okay, the Miami done drew up some shit. The Jets defense is fucking terrible. And the offense keeps shooting themselves in the foot. This is a horrible display. They only have a touchdown because of his play. The other touchdown, defense knocked out a damn ball and or fumble, whatever makes you feel better. And you're not stopping anybody when your offense finally gave you a little momentum. They gave you some momentum, and then you let them come down and do this shit after you damn do the body roll on Tyreek Hill's leg and or knee. ABM said regular orange. Motherfucker. Okay. I don't find this amusing. ABM said regular orange. That was highway road worker night reflector orange. Let me read that again. Regular orange. That was highway road worker night deflector orange. It was regular orange, so it wasn't orange with a glow. Sydney, don't laugh at him. Sydney said another Hollywood. ABM, the Jets stink. Done with that game. We got Chef McFeezy on the train. What's going on, sir? Apparently, the new platform and schedule doesn't match up with Mike Feezy's schedule, but glad when you can make it in, man. Good to see you, man. And despite their decisions I don't agree with, I'm glad your Steelers are doing well for the sake of fans like you, sir. Where'd it go? Sidney Jackson said, wow, the chat room just censored my chat about the unalive podcaster. I don't understand why. Sidney Jackson said, laying on the ground doing a Charlie Kirk. Okay. I was wondering if anybody caught that shit. I mean, I'm just being descriptive. I'm just being descriptive, sir. I'm just being descriptive. Just being descriptive, sir. But yeah. Like seriously. I mean, look, okay, in all seriousness, would you want that on your conscience? Your conscience? I don't. What if he actually had an issue and I just ignored him and I'm walking off, please, sir, please. And I come back and he all Charlie Kirk on the damn sidewalk. I wouldn't want that. What kind of conundrum would that put me in? How bad would that make my spirit feel?
Come on, man, that's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle ass spirit.
I don't need that in my life, on my soul.
You will be discarded in the prisons of hell.
I just don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life, sir. Again, I don't look, honestly, something told me to just go on about my business, but I just felt like at least I can call, and I already knew before I called, I'm not doing all these damn questions, man. I'm not doing it. To quote Sidney Jackson, laying on the ground doing a Charlie Kirk.
Sick! Help! Sick! Help!
That's actually not the right one.
Sick! Help! Sick! Help!
If I was paying attention.
That's a Negro that's out of his mind.
I think your request is what ABM has, sir, but this is the closest I have to it.
That's a Negro that's out of his mind.
McFeezy said, Josh Johnson recently did a show in Atlanta. I first came across Josh Johnson from watching The Daily Show. He is a good comedian. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree. And he's I just like quality comedians. And that's, he's one of the last generations of, well, there's still comedians that do it that way, so let me not say that. But he came from he came right before people started getting known just with skits, and clubs would give them, spotlight, which most of them can't deal. Most of them don't have the skill to even have that spotlight. Most of them can't keep your attention. Like Josh Johnson sat up there and did at least an hour. And even his opener damn near did 30 minutes. His feature, as it's called in comedy, his feature did 30 minutes. And Josh Johnson did at least an hour, if not an hour and a half. And again, it's nothing I've heard. It's a take on things from your own life, which nobody can imitate that. So that's always going to be original. It's what I expect and what my snob comedy it's what me being the comedy snob that I am, that's what I expect. That's what I think I should see when it comes to comedy. Anything less than that, like I'm tired of going to comedy shows and calling out the comedian's name that you stole the joke from. I get reference points. If it's a reference point, okay. But when you just take somebody's joke, come on, man. But thank you for that cosign, McFeezy. Snuggo said that initial Hollywood set the Jets back and completely changed the trajectory of the game. I agree 1,000%. I agree. I agree. It's just you were in a position to do what you needed to do. You had a nice drive. You finished it with a strong run. It's just you just can't have those things happen. But again, I mean, if you can persevere, there's still more football to be played. As easily as they put up those 24, you can put together a real drive and score. That last one was an anomaly. That was just Justin Fields making something happen. And a dumbass tight end in the end trying his best to get the refs to throw a damn flag. Trying to get in the highlight reel blocking somebody when you barely had an angle to do it when that ninja didn't need that shit. A smart football player just would have stood in the way. I hate that call on y'all are down 14 points and you ran some kind of simple little counter. Y'all are down 14 points. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would you? Even if you're having trouble blocking people, you can at least roll them out so you can throw the ball. But that doesn't make any goddamn sense, man. That's stupid as hell, bro. Y'all are down 14. What are you doing? Y'all can't afford to punt that ball. Yeah, that's absolutely terrible. That is absolutely horrible. But yeah, I agree, Sluggo. That really set them back. And despite Bomani Jones' take on this, momentum is a thing. Momentum is a thing. Have to hold on to the ball. Again, you're dealing with two teams that are 0-3 as well.
Amen, preacher. Amen, preacher.
Sluggo said buzzard luck. Definitely buzzard luck. Sluggo said ninjas like Franklin don't have a backbone. And I have long stopped supporting those type of ninjas. Ninjas like Franklin don't have a backbone. And I have long stopped supporting those type of ninjas.
Amen, preacher.
As we all should stop, sir. Hard to watch the Jets do this, and I can't even it's all these self-imposed problems. Pre-snap penalties and shit. Just can't do that shit, man. Just can't. Sluggo said, I'm sorry, Sidney Jackson said, preach, Sluggo.
Amen, preacher.
Just like politics, I'm not throwing blind support behind a ninja who doesn't have the testicular fortitude to not kiss white ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Because of the platform, and I just remember something too. I gotta remember to look at Facebook because some people chat on it, and I never go there. So I'll do that shortly. But let me continue. And I shouldn't have did that because I lost my place. Okay, read that one. Where am I at? Oh, y'all are stupid, man. Sidney, you a damn fool. Okay, Sidney Jackson said, preach, Sluggo.
Amen, preacher.
Just like in politics, I'm not throwing blind support behind a ninja who doesn't have the testicular fortitude to not kiss white ass, usually flat and unwashed.
Hey, man.
Oh, oh shit. I'm sorry. Oh God. I'm sorry. Oh, oh shit. I apologize. Oh, oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Whew. Okay. Sidney Jackson. Sidney Jackson said, pre-sluggo, just like politics, I'm not throwing blind support behind a ninja who doesn't have the testicular fortitude to not kiss white ass that's usually flat and unwashed.
White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever.
McFeezy said, Sluggo, coaches like Franklin don't actually have any say-so on their programs. They'll pop pass on a complete quarterback that will win them championships for a mediocre white quarterback to appease alumni and university leaders. And again, that is the sad, unfortunate truth.
Amen, preacher.
Sad, unfortunate truth. I think Auburn now may be one of those programs. Well, the Jets needed that. The Jets have to be a little more aggressive on offense or creative. Right now, the human coach offensively is most definitely coaching circles around the Jets right now. They have to come up with something offensively. They still have time. Defense is making some stops. They're about to get some decent field position. They have to come up with something, but they have to at least try. That last possession, I saw a lot of hope. I didn't see a lot of try. I need y'all to play football for the sake of the coach and the quarterback. Sluggo saying, preach, Mac.
Amen, preacher.
Mac Feasy said Carson Beck is benefiting from the talent left over from last season's Miami team when Cam Ward was there. Beck is nothing special. And again, preach, sir. And on top of that, he has better receivers than Cam Ward had. Cam Ward's best receiver was basically a tight end. But preach, sir.
Amen, preacher.
Wait a minute. Didn't take. Okay. Can we get a little bit more of that? Actually trying to win. The way y'all blocking, I don't know if that nigga don't need to be in the gun, quite frankly. Find it, sir. I don't know why y'all wasn't letting this nigga throw before. I really don't understand. I really don't understand. But I'm glad y'all are playing football now. I don't know what the fuck that last possession was. Jesus Christ. The last possession looked like sabotage. Good blocking. All right, man, let's go. All right, this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, that Ninja. Sidney Jackson says, two ahead softer than a newborn. I guess they being cautious with him. And I think that flag had a lot to do with it being 2-2. I do believe that. Touchdown, boy. Throw the damn ball. Oh, referee. And they threw a flag. Y'all finna throw this on the offense or something? Y'all, at this point, I think they kind of got it out for these niggas. Is this really on the offense? It can't be holding with what I've seen Miami doing. It can't be holding. Not on the offense, what I've seen Miami doing. I don't know, man. Y'all are wilding right about now, man. God damn. Yeah, okay, man. I don't know about this, man. Y'all doing too much, bro. I'm sorry, man. That's just that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of mistakes they're making, but goddamn, y'all doing too much, bro. I hope this is blatant. That's a terrible call for that. Come on, man. For that, that's weak as fuck. I've seen way worse. That is so goddamn weak. And it was a catch. He called incomplete. That was easily a catch. Yeah. I don't know, bro. I've seen receivers blatantly do worse than that. Every white receiver, because they have to. I've seen way worse than that. That's a weak ass call. It's like anything they can call on the Jets they want to call. If you want to be nitpick on the little receiver in the motion, okay, but goddamn, bro. Goddamn, get out the motherfucking game. These motherfuckers all in the game, but they're not calling it like that both ways. Once again, imbalance. That's a fucking imbalance. They doing too much. Every receiver has a little bit of hand play. They only calling that shit one way. Every chance they get, they trying to call something. God damn. I swear in football this year, this shit is so much worse. It's like they don't even give a fuck about hiding this shit. It's fucking terrible, man. There was a lot of great matchups, and a lot of that shit was ruined by these goddamn officials and these motherfuckers that run it. Anything they in charge of, they fuck up. They can't even help it. McFeasy said, fuck the Steelers. Boycotting to the quarterback is... McFeasy said, fuck the Steelers. I'm boycotting to the quarterback is immunized. Oh, I'm sorry, to the quarterback... Oh, the quarterback immunized is off the team. And that's because dude had a fake immunization card, which I understand. But again, that was supposed to be a terrible thing. But, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers. Sluggo said the Jets play calling leaves a lot to be desired. I'm wondering if the Ninja head coach hired an incompetent OC. It's a Caucasian fellow that really was excited about working with Fields. I mean, that last drive, I like that. The touchdown throw, I feel, was good. That offensive pass interference was weak as hell. That was a weak-ass call, especially when you're not calling pass interference on the DBs of Miami when I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse. I mean, if you're going to call that, then all kind of flags should have been called on Miami for holding, bumping, pass interference. That's a weak-ass call. At one point or another, man, y'all motherfuckers got to get out the game. God damn. Basically, what I'm saying is if Aaron Rodgers throws that, no flag is coming out. 100% guaranteed. They're not throwing that on Aaron Rodgers, Bo Nix, any white quarterback. That's some Justin Fields shit. That's some Justin Fields shit right there. He's been dealing with that his entire goddamn career. With Pittsburgh last year, every time anything positive happened, a flag, just like that. The motherfuckers, the suntan lotion need motherfuckers in charge of the league aren't shit. Another flag. At this point, they nitpicking, man. I'm sorry. I mean, we can just say, you know, oh, you're making excuses. The Jets a dumb, stupid team. They so undisciplined. Show me the replay of whatever they're allegedly doing. Y'all are throwing flags every goddamn play. Show me what he did. Show me the fucking replay, man. Personal foul, y'all just decided to call some shit. Fighting it, man, show it. Where's the goddamn, show me the fucking replay. This is turned into the goddamn NBA. Just like the NBA that never shows replays. All right, show me the personal foul. So you didn't show what happened before. He blocked somebody on the ground. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. That's football. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Goddamn, man. NFL, why don't you just say I hate certain niggas and I'm not going to let you succeed? Goddamn. Stop it. Every goddamn play, man. Get out the fucking game, man. What the hell? God damn. Every little thing you can call on these motherfuckers you calling. Get the fuck out of here. A pancake block is a fucking pancake block. When the hell has that never not been okay? Get the fuck out of here, man. Jesus Christ. Every goddamn play, flag, flag, flag. This nigga's whole fucking career. They did this shit in fucking... Who the fuck had them first with their stupid ass? Chicago, same shit. Pittsburgh, same shit. This nigga got to play the referees every fucking way he go. God damn. Supposed to be a touchdown and done with. Now this motherfucker still getting fully tackled out of bounds. Play been over. God damn. This is some fucking bullshit, man. Play been over, but I'm still going to roll him and throw him. You a nigga, I know I can do that. It's all good. He wouldn't consider doing that. That's a flag. No flag. No flag. Man, the coach should have been got a flag. If you don't go bump the referee or something, you calling every little knick-knack thing on them, but a nigga can throw a motherfucker out of bounds and nothing. Man, goddamn, man. This is why I have no empathy for any... Man, y'all can say what you want. This is why I have no empathy for white quarterbacks. None. They get every goddamn advantage, and they don't have to deal with this shit. This never happens to any white quarterback in the history of the fucking world. They never have to deal with this shit. This nigga didn't have to deal with this shit his whole career. I watched him cheat this nigga out of 3 games against Aaron Rodgers. I watched him cheat Dak Prescott out of 5 games against Aaron Rodgers. Man, get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. God damn. How many fucking flags gonna come out? God damn. I apologize. Shit. Every fucking play. Man, I swear I can't stand the motherfuckers in charge of this shit. So fucking weak. Y'all gotta have y'all little nigga quota so y'all can pretend like all of these average-ass white quarterbacks are good. And then after so many plays, something like that happens. It's the same goddamn formula. Over and over again. It's the exact same shit that happens every goddamn week. This nigga should have been off the field goddamn 8 motherfucking plays ago. God damn, man. Hate these motherfuckers that run the fucking NFL. Should have had a touchdown like 8 goddamn plays ago. And Glenn, at this point, you need to get a fucking penalty, man. At this fucking point, bro. You might as well get a penalty, goddamn. They're not going to let y'all play football. God damn, man. Not a white quarterback in the league that ever had to deal with this shit. Sluggo said, I'll be glad when AI takes over for these bitch-ass referees. Sidney said, now my Sundays are now dedicated to fishing and enjoying my new truck. Y'all don't understand the inside joke on that one. Now my weekends are dedicated to fishing and enjoying my new truck. Can't believe that the Steelers kissed Rodgers' ass. Yeah, that was a late hit out of bounds, but no call. He a nigga. You don't get that call. That should have been 15 yards. He get to throw that nigga out. Man, you can't nitpick every call. Man, they just blatant with it. You just can't let pasty people get out of control, man. When you allow their leader to act like this and you don't check the residents, all of them just start acting out of control. It's like an untrained pet. They pissing and shitting everywhere. They fucking up everything. Jesus Christ, man. What the hell? That's not even football. Y'all don't even want them to be in the fucking game. That's why I get so tired of people that don't talk about details. Bo Nix will never have to go through that. They might throw some flags to help his ass, but they'll never go through that because these motherfuckers are so weak, they got to have people that look like them to look at. Otherwise, they don't want to watch football, which means they're the ones that are actually fucking biased and racist, but they always project that shit on us. And I got to listen to dumbass niggas repeat that shit. That's why I don't think it's funny to go along with them with all of this. There is not and there will never be a white athlete that doesn't get proper coverage. And it's really not funny to go along with that stupid shit, as racist and biased as these motherfuckers are. If you listen to the game, and what happens is, what they do is they just keep doing it and you get used to it, so you just accept it after a while. If you listen to the game, if you actually listen to the game, the times when the volume was on and I heard these people in college and pro, they might as well wear a shirt that say fuck every black quarterback. They literally might as well wear a shirt in capital letters that says I love every white quarterback no matter what the fuck they do. The commentary is fucking pathetic. Who was the worthless quarterback? The motherfucker for Georgia isn't worth a shit. Every time he runs, Kirk Herbstreit's bitch ass says something like he trusts his legs. Whenever a black quarterback runs, he's just a dumb nigga that can't read the defense. It's so fucking annoying because I got to listen to these sheep ass ninjas repeat that shit when they get on Facebook 30 minutes after the goddamn game. Miami players pushing off, no flag. Barely a tap by the Jets, and you call offensive. If that was the case, you should call that on my receivers on damn near half the touchdowns. God damn, man. I'm surprised. Right here, watch this tight end. They didn't show that. I'm surprised they didn't call the block in the back when that dumbass tight end hit the fucking cornerback. Shit ain't even football, man. God damn. Niggas had a chance to get in the game, but not having to play y'all motherfuckers. God damn, man. The fuck is that supposed to be? Matt Feasy said, but you can't criticize the refs when they obviously screw up. Yeah, exactly. If you do, you're an unruly player that's not disciplined. Then they throw a flag and shit. Jesus Christ, man. That's at that point. And as a black coach, you kind of can't do that anyway. But you might as well run on the field and get a flag, like Washington's coach did. I didn't blame him one bit. I would have did the same thing. I mean, we talking about imbalance. I haven't got there yet. And hell, judging by the way I'm letting time fly, I might not get there. But the Ohio State game, again, that was more crack of bullshit. They were cheating like a mother. After Washington's first possession, I knew I didn't have anything to worry about. They were not going to allow Washington to beat Ohio State. They were fucking them from their very first possession. I said, y'all not even hiding this shit. That shit's getting bad. I don't know if it's maybe refs get bonuses if their conference makes it to the playoffs. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that shit has gotten worse. In college football especially, that shit's gotten even worse. With the teams, they don't want to lose a game, that shit's gotten worse. Way worse. That shit's fucking terrible, man. This shit right here is annoying. I'm sorry. That's why I try not to watch the game when I'm doing this shit. You cannot criticize the refs. It's not allowed. All right, let me run through the games that I got time to run through. It's not super late, but again, I'm going to be watching the game for a while, but I don't know if I'm going to go 5. But let's see where we're at. I still got so many Cow Awards to get to. Then if I get into that, it's going to be another rant. I might say the Cow Awards for the Charlie Kirk show, because I need to finish that. Or rather restart it. I don't know if I even got a good hour in. Maybe I got almost an hour in, and then I had technical issues. But again, it was a great weekend for football. A lot of good games. Let's talk about this one. This one, I really hated the outcome of this one. Georgia Tech taking on Wake Forest. Wake Forest was in complete control. I wanted Wake Forest to win really badly because one Mr. Robbie Ashford was quarterbacking Wake Forest. Robbie Ashford has never really got an opportunity just to be the quarterback and have a season anywhere he's went. Auburn, he fell victim to the no nigga policy at Auburn. He was behind a really good freshman at South Carolina, and in his case, he didn't get the veteran experience benefit. He's now at Wake Forest and starting and playing well. And they had an early lead at halftime on Georgia Tech, 17-3. After which, quite frankly, imbalance began to happen. There were some questionable calls, but quite frankly, I mean, if you're a team with a black quarterback and you're playing a team with a white quarterback, you really need to play like you're going to get at least fucked over 3 times, because it's going to happen. You're going to get some kind of stupid ass call to help. Lord have mercy. Fair catch on the 2-yard line. Jesus Christ, New York. Ugh. I might as well turn this shit. No matter what y'all do, they're not going to let y'all play football. So Don't fucking matter. Nigga scored a whole touchdown. I'm gonna call it. Boy, these motherfuckers. It just isn't necessary. And the only thing that really annoys me is they know most people don't watch the game, so I'm gonna have to hear all the stupid ass people that don't watch the game listen to whatever piece of shit on TV gives whatever version of the game that didn't really happen. It is just it's so fucking annoying. Georgia Tech wins 30-29 in a completely fucked up and heartbreaking game. Not rooting for Georgia Tech at all. Nothing against them and shit, but that wasn't my rooting interest, not even in the slightest. Georgia Tech, another one of those teams that has a quarterback leading them in rushing yards. That's a rough proposition. It was a pretty good game. I felt like Wake Forest wasn't aggressive enough. It was a couple of things. One, at one point, Robbie Ashford got hurt on a good scramble, and it wasn't injured. It was hurt because he was able to come back, and it didn't look like there were any ill effects. But when he was out of the game for that short period, it's not like they weren't productive, but they had a nice roll going. So that was untimely the time that he was out. And when he came back, he was still able to deliver again, having to deal with adversity. When I say adversity, I mean crooked ass bullshit referees, but the defense definitely could have they did an awesome job in the first half. Obviously, Georgia Tech had 3 points. So it's not like they made a major adjustment. It's just that, holes weren't getting called as much and, certain penalties kept bringing back Wake Forest drives. But, this is normal. But I felt like Wake Forest should have continued to be aggressive because you should know that you're going to face adversity when playing a team that has a quarterback that America loves. And that's just the way you need to look at it because that's what the fuck it is. Haynes King is deadly on the ground. He even had a decent game through the air. If he could really pass, he'd be nasty. But I think it's really dangerous that he's always not only the leading rusher, but he's the leader in carries. That's the part I really think, you might have a dynamic moment and you end up leading the team in rushing yards. That's cool. But to always be the leader in carries, I don't know how sustainable that is. But yeah, we'll see. I just don't know how sustainable that is. Giving you the short version. In overtime, if I remember correctly, and I blame, they had at least one throwaway play. It's overtime. Georgia Tech has already scored. You need to score. I don't know why you're running a play, some stupid ass running play right up the middle that's going absolutely nowhere when you're in overtime and you have to score. It's not optional. You have to score. You have to fucking score. I didn't understand the play calling when they had that one throwaway play, really almost the first two. Really almost the first two. So I didn't understand that. Put Robbie Ashford in a position where he had to make a play. And it fell short. But I think if they were more aggressive during the course of the game, they wouldn't have ended up in overtime in the first place. Defense did enough in the first half, really, and even with the points they scored, they had opportunity to do more. And I think those missed opportunities allowed Georgia Tech to get back in the game. They come back with a win. America's happy. But I'm happy for Robbie Ashford getting a chance to actually quarterback a team for an entire season. And he was devastated after that last pass, kind of squatted down, had his head down. And I don't know, maybe after about 6 to 8 seconds, his teammates were out there picking him up and shit. So, that was good to see. But bad loss for Wake Forest. They had Georgia Tech beat. Gave that game away. Good win for Georgia Tech. Raider for life, who's a fan. Ryan Stewart, who obviously is alumni and a big fan. So, all right, man, just keep fighting. That's all y'all can do. Just keep fighting, and maybe these motherfuckers will stay out of the game. So this nigga on the ground again and still ain't getting the flag. Y'all going to have to just start really just laying defenders out. They're not even going to show what happened. I know he was standing when the ball was gone. Y'all don't really got time to, well, okay. When it works, it works. Let's see if they throw a flag now. That seems to be tradition. These motherfuckers are the absolute worst. He's still cussing the ref out. As he should. Bitch-ass motherfuckers, man. But again, it's understandable when you know you're inferior. You have no choice but to fuck over people. You can project and see who's going to do well. And I'm sorry, I've seen them just that there's no rhyme or reason to the way that they hated Dwayne Haskins before he ever damn took a snap. There's no rhyme or reason to the way that Justin Fields played in college and Haskins, and no matter what they did in college, they hated those niggas. Before Haskins ever took a snap or even got to training camp, they didn't like his black ass. From the fucking beginning, it didn't make any goddamn sense. They always hated his ass. I just find it hard to believe that that's just coincidence. There's no goddamn way. They go after certain quarterbacks and they promote others. There's no reason for J.J. McCarthy to be promoted. There's no reason. The only reason the Broncos got 21 points is because the Bengals ain't really all that good. Yet another goddamn flag. Yet another goddamn flag. Boss, excuse me. My apologies. At any rate, tough loss for Wake Forest, but I'm glad Robbie Ashford's finally getting a chance. Haynes King, great game. Can't believe he threw the ball 42 fucking times. 28 for 42, 243 yards, one touchdown, no picks, no fumbles. That's all you can ask. Then he comes back on the ground with 21 carries. The next closest running back only had 8 carries. That's bad. I'm sorry, man. That's terrible game plan and bad coaching. It's working, but y'all can't do that. Your running back didn't even have 10 carries, but your quarterback had 21. You can't do that, man. Not all year. But again, if y'all can get away with it, have fun with it. Hell of a game for Haynes King. Hell of a game. And if he can keep it up all year, that motherfucker's going to have some numbers. But your running back didn't even have 10, but your quarterback had 21?
What was that? What was that?
That's interesting. That is interesting. Damn. Let me look at something because I swore I saw one chat that I never fucking read. Let me get off of that. Sidney Jackson said West Georgia got put in a Kamala position by those refs against A&M. Yeah, and my best friend said the week before that they got put in a Kamala. I mean, why don't y'all just say the game is over because we not gonna let them do anything, man? The amount of fucking flags is fucking ridiculous. The amount of flags is fucking ridiculous. And again, some of them are warranted, but if you're looking at the other side of the ball, it's the same shit. They're just calling it one goddamn way. I just find it hard to believe that it's just a coincidence. God damn, bro. It's just, yeah. God, I wish those people weren't so fucking worthless. But as ABM says, their resume is impeccable. Sluggo said, Wake Forest got robbed. Clearly, Tech was all sides. Yeah, again, that's why I said there was bullshit involved too. Clearly, Tech was all sides, which would have resulted in a first down and effectively ended the game. But if they call that, you're not going to get the team you want to. That's my whole point about Imbalance, and that's why I had the show title. When I saw that play, there's an imbalance. And the inferiors know they're inferior, therefore they always got to tip the scales, because if not, the people they like will never win shit. And that's just the truth. And that's why, again, I just don't think it's funny when you go along with their bullshit. We don't have time for that. I know everybody would like to live in a nice little perfect world, but these people are fucked up. No apologies. These people are fucked up. Look at these people voting for Trump. Look at these motherfuckers. Internet. Had a classmate. I didn't know about this. Y'all know how I constantly talk about the George Floyd challenge. The George Floyd challenge. Let's just say this. George Floyd challenge. Where you had white kids and parents who happily and gleefully, after watching a black man get murdered by a piece of shit cop that should have been killed right there on the spot in a torturous manner. He should have fucking died right there on the spot. A large portion of white America's reaction, and if they didn't do it, they didn't blame people for doing it, or they turned a blind eye to it. A large portion of their reaction was to do the George Floyd challenge. because a nigga getting choked to death on TV is funny. And it is funny if you're a psychopath, poorly raised, ignorant, in need of soap. It it is very funny. But that's what they did. Had a classmate that posted some, and I wasn't even aware of this. Did you know that the whites also do something called Trayvoning, which obviously was before George Floyd, but they get Skittles and whatever drink he had, and they lay on the ground with the dead pose because it's funny when black people get killed. So I'm sorry, in this world, in this environment, there's not a goddamn thing funny about agreeing with any of their bullshit. There ain't a goddamn thing funny. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing funny. There's never been a white person that doesn't get credit for what they do. There will always be white people getting more credit than they deserve. Fact. If you're offended by that, you're not that bright, you're programmed, or you really, really, really don't want to offend people that don't give a fuck about you. That is the God's honest truth. They're incapable of being unbiased. And the few that are, if you're offended by that, get over it. Most of you aren't. And you know that if you're around them, because you are. You got a cousin or a friend and you know how they think. Stop lying. I'm sorry. This game is a damn prime example of that bullshit. It's hard to play the fucking refs too, especially when you're shooting yourself in the foot. Then you playing the refs, you don't have a goddamn shot. You don't have a goddamn shot. But there was so much bullshit this weekend, and Wake Forest had to deal with that. And again, to me, that's why you got to put the game out of reach, because you know they're going to cheat for the white quarterback. You know it. You have to notice it. I notice it. You know they're going to cheat. You have to score as many points as you can. You have to. They got a little unaggressive. Unfortunate to lose Ashford for just a little while being hurt. They were just, you got to finish. But again, if they would just be even or decent, if they would just be decent, I don't know how y'all don't recover that football, man. If they would just be decent, Wake Forest would have won that game. But I was happy. I completely forgot about Robbie Ashford transferring to Wake Forest. But I'm glad he's getting that opportunity, and I hate that he lost the game in that manner. Because, again, a properly called football game, Wake Forest wins. But, again, Georgia Tech and Haynes King are people that are well-liked and chosen. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm probably finna cut this shit off. This is disgusting. This shit is raising my blood pressure. Let me just, in the other games at halftime, right? I'll just ignore this shit at this point. Quite annoying, man. Sidney Jackson says, Sluggo, yeah, that was an egregious, ignored call. And again, that's why I had that title of the show, Imbalance, because there was an imbalance in the commentary, the officiating, the reaction for when white quarterbacks throw interceptions in the NFL and in college. This is why I know there's no way it's a coincidence. Listen to the commentators. And again, they've been doing this for damn near 15, 20 years. I don't have to listen to the game. They've never changed. But when I'm forced to listen, they're still doing the same thing. And I guess people haven't caught on. When a white quarterback throws a pick, they focus on what the defender did to get the interception. Any ninja throws a pick, he's the dumbest motherfucker on planet Earth. It was his fault. You can't do that. And they give you about 8 fucking reruns of that play telling you why he fucked up. When a white quarterback does it, there is dead fucking air unless they're talking about what a great play by the defender. They don't criticize. Very rarely. And again, if they do, you don't get credit for that. You're supposed to. And then I have to listen to people who say they think on their own, think the same way they think. And if you don't think there's something wrong with thinking like those fucking people, I really feel sorry for you. The last people in the world I want to mimic are those individuals. But again, that's me. Mac Feezy. Most fans don't actually watch the games. They just watch highlights and form an ignorant opinion. God damn it, Mac Feezy. Where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? Where's the damn bomb? Preach, sir.
Amen, preacher.
I know that's true because that's the only way that these sports shows could get away with blatantly fucking lying. They're not even attempting to tell the truth. But preach. And forgive me because I keep losing my thought. When I was talking about the George Floyd challenge, something I brought up a lot, because it's interesting to me that it was just glossed over when so many savages participated in that. You have to really stop and think about that. You watch a man get murdered on TV, and your reaction is, that's really funny. And if you pay attention, you'll notice there's no empathy for things happening to black people because they are in charge. And there's this narrative to pretend like everything is normal, and that's bullshit. And when you bring it up instead of fixing the problem, which is them, they get offended and angry and say you're being racist or they're being unfairly criticized or something. Aaron Glenn is a good one for laughing at these bitch ass referees. I know you got to do it, nigga, but you a good one. You a good one. Every time Miami did anything, I'd be in his ear. Where's the pass interference? Where's the hole? I would wear that motherfucker out for the rest of the game. Pause. This at any rate. At any rate. But George Floyd challenge, very funny. And before this, I didn't realize they do something called Trayvoning, where they do this on Halloween. Ignorant, low life, worthless, non-bathing, poorly raised, spoiled degenerates. And if you never address the issues of the country, and again, it wasn't that long ago. And if you think magically all of these fucked up people are going to become decent, you're crazy. I wish we were as violent as we were depicted to be, because there would be no Trayvoning and George Floyd challenges if we were. But again, we're spiritual. People that do things like that are the goddamn devil. No apologies. And there's some ninja somewhere saying something stupid and irrelevant like, that's why you got to vote. Perhaps you need to vote, but when you vote, you also need to hold people accountable. And secondly, I'll just say, if you don't discipline your pets, they'll run wild. If you don't discipline your pets, they will run wild. Sluggo said that should have been offsetting penalties and replayed it down. McPherson said, yeah, they get all upset because folks said Charlie Kirk got what he deserved. And I still never finished my point. Let me finish my point. Sluggo said, those cracks are losing their minds even more with these damn near daily mass shootings. Again, there's so many places to go with that, and I know I'm kind of ranting, but it is what it is. And being that I'm at the 3-hour mark, I know that I'm not going to get to all the football I need to get to, unfortunately. But and I know I got the second half of this other game I don't give a shit about, but sitting on 9, then again, honestly, I kind of just remember something I got to do too. I got to make one run. I do have to make a run. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, but to finish my point earlier, George Floyd challenge, Trayvoning, which I wasn't aware of, Skittles and all. Again, let's think about how fucked up you have to be to look at somebody being murdered and find it amusing. Again, the narrative and the way they project is that somehow we're those people. But we're not. We never have been. At times, I truly believe we should be. We're not. But by their actions, they are those people on a regular, semi-regular basis. My point is, you don't see ninjas on the internet, in social media or on social media, or you don't see ninjas in a widespread fashion doing the Charlie Kirk challenge. Have you seen that? George Floyd didn't deserve to die. Neither did Trayvon Martin. I'm not saying Charlie Kirk deserved to die, but I am saying he created his own circumstances. George Floyd didn't do anything for that bitch ass cop to do that. He was just a white cop that knew that he could get away with it in white America that turns a blind eye to anything a cop does. That other piece of shit knew he was in the country and knew he had privileges to get away with that. And you actually had white people trying to defend it when it happened. And some stupid ass niggas that said that had something to say other than it was wrong or that motherfucker should have been killed. He should have just kept walking and all this stupid shit. It's amazing how easily a lot of us are influenced. It's very sad that in that situation you had anything other than say than fuck George Zimmerman. But again, the entire point, when black people were murdered for no reason other than I'm a fucked up ass poorly raised piece of shit that's going to commit murder, regardless of what the fuck I'm wearing at the time, regardless of my outfit. A large portion of white America made fun of it because they're amused by it. What's the difference in that and those pictures of black people being fucking murdered in the middle of the street, tied together, and they leave them there? Go home, change, put on their good clothes, come back and take pictures with big ass smiles on their faces. That's 1 or 2 generations ago. That's 2 at the most. What's the difference? It's the exact same shit. They're just doing it with the technology now that's allowed. It's literally the exact same shit. Aaron Glenn, you need to cuss somebody out. You need to run on the field and cuss somebody out. That's a late hit. I mean, what the hell is going on, man? For all the times that announcers want to say the refs need to get control of this, that if somebody from the Jets just fucking lays somebody out, they're perfectly within their right at this point. These motherfuckers, man, are the worst motherfuckers, I swear. But my entire point is that they looked at that situation and made fun of it. With 2 people who did nothing to deserve that. Now, Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to get shot necessarily, but he did create his own situation with the things that he said. George Floyd didn't do that, neither did Trayvon Martin. They were victims of ignorant ass, poorly raised people in this fucking country that has always hated black people and still does. And that can't get better with so many bitch ass niggas refusing to acknowledge that because you think your white friends might not like it. If they're truly your friends, then they'll recognize that and stand there with you. If you have to pretend to be a bitch to be their friend, I don't have to complete that sentence. But my entire point is, don't give me false equivalence. Don't give me everybody is biased for their people, because I don't see any black person. Again, there are no recordings and countless tapes and videos of Trayvon Martin and George Floyd saying disparaging things about white people that aren't true. When we do that, we're just saying true things that they don't want to hear because they're fragile. Most. No apologies, y'all are. Sorry. Y'all are fragile as hell. You couldn't survive 2 minutes in our world. Y'all are fragile. Let me say this. In comparison to black people, white people are fragile. Again, if you can't co-sign that, boy, you really are interesting, or you live in a different place. But I don't understand the luxury, or I'm not familiar with the luxury of being as fragile as white people get to be. So again, what's the situation? 2 innocent people being murdered. One by somebody that's supposed to protect you, another one by a rogue citizen with a past. And you see white America scrambling to say it's okay. You don't see many black people or any black people saying it's okay that Charlie Kirk got shot. We just don't give a fuck. But we're not saying it's okay. No black person is laughing about it. Unfortunately, a lot of black people are way too sensitive about it and are posting things that I think are, quite frankly, extremely fucking stupid. But this is me. But again, I never want to hear false equivalence when it comes to black and white people. I never want to hear, oh, you're just saying that because they're white. I get that in a bubble, that shit's cute, but in actuality, we're not in that situation. It's really not funny. And if you have influence, I'd just rather you didn't do that, because this shit isn't funny. These motherfuckers are on some different shit. Shit ain't funny. And there's no false equivalence because there's not a wide, can he have that touchdown, bitch ass ref? Worthless motherfucker. They shouldn't have to work that hard to do that shit. And the game should have been a lot closer than this. They're not going to have enough time. Miami going to run the fucking clock out. And this is after having to fight a lot of their own dumb shit, but there were several bullshit calls. And again, if you're calling interference on the Jets, how is that not interference? According to y'all standards, that should have been holding us some as much as y'all lighting up the Jets' goddamn secondary. Jesus. This shit is going to end with Miami having the ball and not having to give it up. They barely have to do anything. And unless the Jets have 3 timeouts, even if they do, this shit has to land perfectly. They shouldn't have to do all that shit. I like the resilience and everything, but goddamn, man, between shooting yourself in the foot, it's hard to play in those circumstances. It's really hard. But to finish my point as I continue to rant, until you see black people on the internet, find me one tape of black people doing the Charlie Kirk challenge. Find me one damn thing of black people on video going, or black people on video going, what about black gun violence? Oh, God. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. There's no comparison. Please don't do that. I hate false equivalence. We're not savages. If we were, quite frankly, a lot of the people we have a problem with wouldn't even fucking be here. Don't give me false equivalence. Shit pisses me off. It's annoying as hell. Stop it. Not in this motherfucking country. McFeezy said, Ninja, these savages are descendants of savages who took home pieces of black people as souvenirs from lynchings. And again, the history they're erasing with a piece of shit president they voted for as they sit back and act like they're Americans when in actuality, they're all fucking terrorists, if you understand what the hell terrorism is. Again, shit's not funny. Not fucking funny. It's not. But, sir, McFeezy, glad you're aboard today and preach.
Amen, preacher!
Sluggo said, when it's white on white crime, white people will politicize it and not blame it, and not blame it on the opposing party. Yeah, again, I mean, most of this increase in white ignorance, they really needed that on sidekick. Most of this increase in white ignorance is it's just monkey see, monkey do. They're doing it on purpose. If you're not raised to be a piece of shit and you actually are outraged by what a lot of white people are doing towards black people and you stand up for it, they allow punishment to come to you because they've always done that. Knowing the history of the country like I do, that's one thing I really like about the show. I've done so much studying that I understand that this is who they have always fucking been, man. Nothing is different. I'm not kidding when I say that. And I think so many of us take it lightly with these rose-colored glasses on, and we can't afford to be like that. I'm not saying you can't live, but goddamn it, you need to be ready. Put yourself in a white person's shoes. And if you do, you realize you would never act like that. If I was white and had all of those advantages, I would mind my own business. And most of them can't do that. Because they believe all the fucked up things they used to be able to do should be a right. And when they're taken away, they feel attacked. And at the same time can look at what black people go through and see and feel nothing. I waste no empathy on that. Not a goddamn second worth. I digress. It's supposed to be football. But, I mean, dude, I don't, at any rate, man. But Sluggo said again, when it's white on white crime, white people will politicize it and blame it. Go back. Oh, that's right. They blame it on like the Democrats did something. Okay, I apologize. When it's white on white crime, white people will politicize it and blame it on the opposing party. Again, no accountability for the people actually doing it. It's just a lot of dumb shit. It's just a lot of dumb shit. And it's the same old routine. And both of them are in on it. Because if you're the opposing party and you're running against a piece of shit, I would show January 6th every day. You know why they don't? Because most white Americans don't have a problem with it. They're just as fucked up as the ignorant, low-life motherfuckers that did it that should have been shot in the goddamn face. The people that didn't go or that didn't support it, they at least turned a blind eye to it. Remember I told you I had a volleyball game where my daughter used to go? That school full of Trump-supporting motherfuckers? We were sitting around in one of them bullshit conversations, and if you ever talk to them, they always throw in something where they're shitting on a black person and they act like they're not. They always do little things. Or they draw false equivalents or whatever they do. But he was just sitting there with a little bullshit conversation. And whatever he said, I was like, yeah, just like all of those low-life motherfuckers on January 6th. He walked off. If you're an American, why didn't you just say, man, you're right, or amen? What's the problem? Y'all aren't American. You're a bunch of fucking terrorists. Bunch of spoiled bitches. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. Don't stop being American. Y'all are not American. And using this term patriot, do you even know what that means? Well, I've never seen a dumber group of motherfuckers, I swear. Their slogan is something to the effect of when tyranny becomes normalcy, patriots take arms. They're too stupid to realize that they're the goddamn tyrants. The only patriots this country has ever known have been black people. Because for a black person to serve in any form of the armed forces and do their job properly makes them better Americans than y'all could ever be. Because when you're disappointed, you act like the spoiled bitches you are. If white people were dealing with what we deal with in this country, they would never join the fucking military. The only true patriots have only been us. 13 seconds left and they get the ball back. Man, get the fuck out of here. Good game, refs. Excellent fucking game. Jesus Christ. But the only true patriots have always been black people. The only terrorists has always been white people. They have this, there's some kind of stupid ass stat on shooting deaths. Because again, all the mass shootings they committed against black people, that doesn't count as just a bunch of niggas. Listen to when they talk about shooting deaths and how many have happened and acts of terrorism. Because when their ancestors did what they did, it wasn't an act of terrorism. They were just standing their ground and doing what they had to do. The reason why there's no discussion and reconciliation and admittance so we can actually move on is because they're proud of it and they think we should shut up about it. Do just that. Shut up about it. And when other black people hold them accountable for that, you got stupid niggas saying you're supporting the Republicans. No, I'm just not a sheep-made bitch that smiles at everything that white people do and screams every time black people do anything because white America's told me that's my job. And that's all this is. White America is giving you permission to shit on black people, so you do that. And when white people fuck up, everybody's just quiet. Losing is losing, but I truly believe without all that interference, I don't think this game goes the same way. If you call Miami for the same bullshit you called the Jets for, I don't think this game goes that way. And I can say that along with Miami actually did a good job of their offensive game plan. Both things can be true, but that was bullshit. And that's the bullshit black quarterbacks got to deal with always. Dwayne Haskins had to deal with that from the time he got in the league. So did Fields. Geno Smith, same goddamn thing. No quarterback has ever gotten sucker punched by a teammate and everybody thought it was funny. Just all of those incidents, I know I'm ranting, but all of those incidents are what made me realize that ninjas really don't think for themselves. That shit's fucking crazy. JBJ saying amen, preacher.
Amen, preacher.
McFeezy said a white supremacist gets killed, so why should I care? It's like asking the lamb to feel and show sorrow upon learning that the wolf was killed by a hunter. And again, man, preach. Again, if that's right along the lines of Malcolm X saying, if a man struggles when he's being hung, is he fighting? like they would use little terms. I'm trying to figure out what they would call it. When they always try to justify what they did. And again, they never talk about that they always cut off the nigga's nuts and or dick or both. Because again, they've always had an issue with that. And people always like to downplay that joke. No, there's a reason for that. If they cut off the nuts and dick or the nuts of every nigga they hung, obviously they have an issue with that. I mean, how the hell is something wrong with us for bringing that shit up? People really need, I wish that I don't understand black people having empathy for white people not wanting to hear the truth. You motherfuckers are weird. If you're too much of a bitch to stand up for anything, the least you could do is just sit back and be a bitch. You can at least do that. But to always take their point of view and act like there's false equivalence, that shit is annoying. And a lot of people can't separate or they can't compartmentalize the fact that I can know white people I consider friends and still acknowledge how many fucked up white people there are in the world. Because you have no problem talking about fucked up niggas. So, I mean, again, you're just falling victim to the way they're training you to be. But if you pay attention, if you notice that I'm very quick to scream at a black person or say something about a black person, and I don't care what anybody thinks, but you always run your white shit through a filter, something in here shouldn't feel right with that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I guess other motherfuckers are weird. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what y'all doing this post-game interview for unless you're going to talk about the bullshit I just got done seeing. Good job ruining another football game, man. Just let that game play out. Maybe Miami wins anyway, but goddamn. Y'all hate Justin Fields that goddamn much? I ain't never seen a nigga make so many plays to get called back. That nigga got about 10 touchdowns, spectacular touchdowns that have been taken away over the course of his damn career, and that's a low number. They obviously got to fuck this nigga goddamn order. I swear to God. There's no way it's a goddamn coincidence. J.J. McCarthy will never have to deal with that. I swear, boy, I swear. Jesus. You can watch motherfuckers like Tim Tebow let the defense win the whole game and watch white America give him credit. Boy, I swear to God. Boy, it's hard. That's why, again, what Jalen Hurts is pulling off is fucking amazing. Because, again, Jalen Hurts, from the beginning, before he ever got to the pros, they hated everything about that nigga, and they still do. No white quarterback has to deal with that. They love Drake May. Drake May's never done shit. They fucking love him. This shit is fucking disgusting. And again, let me do the bitch nigga response. Well, you shouldn't watch then. Good job of making sure you don't have to say anything against those people who you worship. Y'all motherfuckers are so weird. At any rate, my apologies. Sluggo said he walked off. McFeezy said, fascism comes to America draped in a flag and carrying a Bible. Once again, McFeezy, preach. Hey, let me say this, man. I miss y'all and I appreciate y'all. Miss y'all cats, man. I needed this.
That's got me, man. I don't got no control over it, man. I try to kick, man. That shit just be calling me, man. Be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it. Need help, man.
Bengals playing the Broncos. I don't overly care about this game other than the fact that it is football. So I can appreciate the nuances in the game in itself. The Broncos are quietly 1-2. And again, it's very early, but I just like to note the Broncos are 1-2. Bo Nix has not looked well. But the only thing I heard last week was how terrible Michael Penix is. Just pay attention to what they're doing. And your entire narrative shouldn't be the narrative of somebody that would believe the police if they said, he looked at me very rough, and he looked at me in a menacing manner, and I had to shoot him 27 times. Because those are the people you're defending when you're pushing their narratives, man. But again, they deserve criticism because that team is stacked. He just has to be a decent quarterback. I think Atlanta's stacked to a degree. But they're 1-2, and they said that Denver should win their division over Kansas City, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. Which means the only way you can actually say that is if you think Bo Nix is that guy, and you can't think that unless you just like the way he looks. If the player's on time, he can do that. He's not doing anything extra for you outside of being able to use those legs a little bit. But he'll never have the ability to pick apart a defense the way Michael Penix can. Never. It would take the most superior play calling and everything that you're doing working on time. But when you play real teams and they get filmed, that shit goes away. It is what it is. But I don't find this shit amusing. I don't find this very interesting. But a 1-2 Denver team, that seems like a much bigger story considering the same media thinks that they're great. They shouldn't be 1-2 according to you. So why do you not mention the fact that they're 1-2? Largely due to an inept quarterback. The only reason they really beat Tennessee is because that fucking coaching staff is terrible. And that offensive line is horrible. But they were in that game, but yeah, you're not going to win shit not allowing Cam Ward to ever throw the ball. And you got people even talking about Cam Ward right now. No, J.J. McCarthy, motherfucker. Cam Ward cannot sit in the pocket and throw. J.J. McCarthy got everything around him. He just can't play. Tennessee's not a good team. Cam Ward cannot set his feet. Anytime he plays a good defense, that nigga running for his life. And it took to damn near midway through the fourth quarter before they let that nigga throw the ball. He's not in that same situation. J.J. McCarthy is, I'm ranting right now, but J.J. McCarthy is a quarterback that had no business being drafted where he did. But again, he's white, so let's just let him have a job. He's shown nothing. He didn't do shit in college. He's a garbage-ass pro quarterback. But yet and still, the media still, after one game, it was a bad game. But if you can't look at Michael Penix and see the difference in that shit, you don't know football. I know for a fact Michael Penix is going to be okay. Because he's not in a situation where the damn coach is trying to sabotage him. And that's the only thing that's really going to stop him outside of the NFL not giving him cracker privileges. He's not going to give Bo Nix privilege and J.J. McCarthy privilege and all these other cats. Oh, I'll give you another one, Brock Purdy, who's never been shit. I've been saying that from the beginning. But again, the media just promotes it. Dumb niggas, yeah, Brock Purdy. If you think Brock Purdy is better than Trey Lance, then you're the type of cat that watches too much TV. Sorry. The most you can say is I haven't seen enough of Trey Lance to make a decision. That's the best you can say. But if you say flat out Trey Lance can't play, you have no evidence of that. But you can watch TV and watch people say that. And I just don't, you know what? I digress. Mac Feezy, thank you for that. Let me mention that too. Sluggo again saying, preach Mac.
Amen, preacher.
R.I.P. to Asada Shakur. Thank you for that, since I'm on this right now. And Sluggo, yeah, I know why you will. And listen, I know it's 10:30 on y'all side, and I appreciate the participation. Let me speak on Asada Shakur, and I'm going to get ready to shut this down. I'm not going to, if I can't talk about any more football. If I do cows with the way I do it, it's 45 minutes to an hour, dog. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I didn't get close to finishing football. But I'm going to give you another show, and I'm probably going to want to lean in on the Charlie Kirk thing because I never really got to talk about it. But right here with Asada Shakur. R.I.P. to the great Asada Shakur. Now, that's something that should be studied. And you had the little piece of shit Patel try to tell people not to celebrate. Did you say that about Charlie Kirk? Or murderous police? Did you say that about Kyle Rittenhouse? Did you say that about Zimmerman? There are a lot of things that suntan lotion abusing people should not be celebrating. Again, as I've always said, the history of black people dealing with this country has nothing to do with white history in this country. We didn't go home and put on good clothes because we lynched black people and cut off their dick, and we were so amused by that, we brought our kids and wife to take pictures wearing our nice clothes because that amuses us. And somehow in 3 to 4 generations, that type of individual is decent. No, they're not. That's why the world is this country is what it is right now. And the ninjas in a position to speak on it don't do it because their job is to be an agreeable ninja and co-sign what these motherfuckers do. The shit is fucking crazy. Sluggo saying R.I.P. Mac, and I'll be adding a cow regarding to her death. Send it to me so I can put it with the rest of them that I've had on delay forever, and I apologize. Assata Shakur, I'm sure in self-defense, put down a savage. And the group that she was with broke her out of prison. She wisely and intelligently went somewhere where she was provided refuge, Cuba. Notice that America's always wanted to get Castro and never could. But she was allowed refuge there and America couldn't get her. Thank God. And bomb drop to, I believe, Castro, who allowed that to happen. And everybody in Cuba that allowed, thank you for that. Thank you for that. This justice system isn't shit right now. What the fuck is justice in the goddamn 80s and the 70s and the 60s? What the fuck is justice? It isn't shit now. You watch cops murder black people. You watch white America ignore it because they're just as fucked up as them. And it's business as usual. They kill witnesses after the fact. The news magically promotes everything the police do. There's not one outlet that tells the truth. Not a goddamn one, unless you're on social media. And they hire somebody with a look, an Anglophile with a look. Because the reason why they hire people like that to do it is because it's too obvious when white people do it. So they get an Anglophile of another race to do it to make it look legitimate. Thank God Assata Shakur didn't have to rot in jail. Thank God she had refuge and lived out her life not in bondage. And thank God that's something that pissed this country off. And hopefully it made them sick enough to maybe grow a couple of cancer cells. RIP to the great Assata Shakur, and an almost undescribable fuck you and go to hell to anybody in this country thinking that you have, again, if I was white, I would shut the fuck up and live my life. But not only do they want to live their life, they want to play victim, play oppressed, and tell you how you need to act so they can approve of you. And at the end of the day, that's all this is. Having the caucasity to tell black people you shouldn't celebrate this person. Listen closely. You shouldn't celebrate George Washington or any of the first, really any president. But you shouldn't celebrate any of the first 17 to 20. They all owned slaves. 12 to 15. Maybe 15 to 18. They all owned slaves. You shouldn't celebrate that. You shouldn't celebrate the 4th of July because a celebration of that is a celebration of the oppressing of my people. Are you a decent person or are you not? You shouldn't celebrate war generals that fought to keep me in bondage, but you do. But we shouldn't celebrate Assata Shakur. If you really wanted to make America great again, you would remove your ability. If you really wanted to make America great again, people with that mentality would unalive themselves, because that would put somewhat of a stop to the spread of the virus and disease that is your existence. You motherfuckers are psychotic. You celebrate this president. You celebrate George Floyd's murder, Trayvon Martin's murder. You celebrate or ignore 10 to 12 black people, elderly black people, being murdered in a supermarket in Buffalo by a white person specifically attacking black people. That doesn't happen to any other group. Yet and still, because black hatred in this country is actually tradition, they never address it. All of these things are why I have no patience for false equivalents, bitch niggas laughing and agreeing with white narratives. And mixing words when talking about the state of this country and what white America has done, is doing, and will continue to do unless there are consequences. Not a prayer visual, not a discussion, not a fucking town hall. Consequences. Can't reason with the unreasonable. You cannot empathize with somebody who by genetic design has no goddamn empathy for people that don't look like them. And I can only go off the actions. Period. Again, I missed y'all. I needed to rant.
That shit, man, it's got me, man. I don't got no control over it, man. I try to kick, man. That shit just be calling me, man. Be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it. Need help, man.
And when I finish with the chat, and I'll get ready to pull this thing in, but where we at here? I love that America never got its hands on her. She lived to be 78 and probably wouldn't have lived to be 40 had she remained here locked up in a cage. And again, I love that they didn't get her hands on her. Preach. Again, let's understand this. Asada Shakur didn't say, let's just go kill some random motherfucker. Anybody that she may or may not have murdered was in self-defense. The police are pieces of shit now. And if you're not a piece of shit as a cop and you don't defend the people that are, I can respect that. But if you're part of the blue wall and this don't attack police thing, pretending to be stupid, you're no different than the person committing the murder, because I believe y'all call that conspiracy. And y'all like niggas up for that. They were even worse then. And you're trying to sell me on she murdered a cop like a cop is a goddamn hero? But Terrence Crawford had a gun pulled on him by some bitch-ass cracker cop because he knows he can do it. I don't like your car. What are y'all doing with this? Y'all, this doesn't look like it should be you. I'm going to do this because no matter what, there will be no consequences for me. And the only thing most black people have to do is screaming at you about how you need to act. Why is there never anything about what they're doing? I don't understand. I get that everybody isn't about action. But what have they done to where a lot of you niggas won't even say what it is they do? That's some sad and pathetic shit. Shout out to my parents. I wasn't raised that way. Y'all are interesting. And interesting is a very nice word. I've noticed I was having little moments and shit, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I said, nigga, you ain't done a show. You ain't done a show. You got fucking anger and frustration, goddamn. You haven't released none of this shit. So that's probably what I'm doing right now. I apologize. I went from football to whatever the hell I'm doing now. But I know when I do the replay, I'm gonna be like, boy, you went sideways with this shit. McFeezy said, all news outlets are corporate owned, and their news anchors push a narrative that the corporation wants. And again, preach, and that is obvious, sir. Because there's no, again,
Amen, preacher!
Again, just common sense. No group of people are gonna, there is not a group of people on the planet that are gonna agree on everything all the time. But every news outlet always says the same thing. The news report should be, what the fuck is going on? Why can a terrorist run for president? There shouldn't, the way they're covering this shit should let you know how illegitimate this is. I just think I'm better off being unplugged because I have a clear mind. It's not cluttered with bullshit. I don't watch any of that shit. And I think I have a much better perspective. If I watched all that shit, maybe they would have fooled me into taking the jab. But I learned a long time, the fear mongering doesn't work for me. And white America has done nothing to give me a reason to trust them. I mean, nothing. And I swear I can see the bullshit coming. Maybe, who knows? It could be paranoia, but the bullshit is too obvious to me. It's too damn obvious. Some people were obligated, but the bullshit is so obvious. It's so damn obvious. And again, a lot of this shit, we're not doing nothing to these people. And they just keep on acting up, man. That shit does not deserve what it deserves, should not be spoken about. But I can tell you what it doesn't deserve: empathy and filtering your words to make people feel better about the truth. Fuck your fragile ass feelings. We're not going to talk about Black history because we don't want our weak ass fucking pathetic kids to feel bad about what the truth. Fuck your kids, man. Fuck they feelings. What about a black kid's feelings watching black people get killed on TV and y'all never do shit about it? And then he watched a black person get killed, turn into a fucking criminal by the news media outlets. Crazy cracker kills people in the movies, and you show a picture of him in a goddamn tuxedo talking about he was an honor roll math student. Honestly, I wish I didn't see shit. No, I don't. At times, I realize, I'll just say this. The phrase ignorance is bliss means something completely different to me now. And it is so true. I wouldn't want to be unaware. But man, there's a certain peace in being ignorant. Man, there's a peace in it. I just can't, certain things just aren't funny to me, and certain things I can't necessarily enjoy. I really can't. Because of what's attached to it. But, you know, I'd rather be that way. It is what it is. Mac Feezy said, there are whites. What am I missing? There are whites out there. That looks like ST. I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. There are whites out there, sir, is what I think it was supposed to say. Suggle said, and notice how mainstream outlets refuse to say Assata Shakur. They keep using her government name as a petty gesture. I mean, that's what these ignorant motherfuckers do. What else are they going to do? Again, a country that stripped away your identity doesn't want you to realize what it is. If they really want to move past this, you'll acknowledge what you did, make amends, and stop hiding it. What they're doing right now is begging for a reaction. And the thing that saddens me is I don't think most of us will give them one. Sad shit. McPheezy said, there are whites out there who have issues with the Black Panther Party by labeling them as domestic terrorists, despite the fact that the Black Panther Party never committed any criminal acts. Thank you for saying that, and we can end on that one. Let's give a bomb drop to that. And I have something to add to that. Great point. Great point. Along those lines, once again, there are whites out there who have issues with the Black Panther Party by labeling them as domestic terrorists, despite the fact that the Black Panther Party never committed any criminal acts. Again, white people in charge, white America hating black people. The evidence, they have never stopped one terrorist white group who are the only terrorists that have ever existed. Any black group, again, we should have been shedding fucking blood. But again, we're not savages. We're spiritual people. At no point has any black group went out of their way to try to shed blood other than self-defense. But that didn't stop this government from attacking any black group that dared to tell us to stand up for ourselves. They went after that. What that tells me is that if they wanted to stop these groups of worthless white pieces of shit, they could. They don't because they're members. They've never stomped them out in all of these years. The only time they went at them is if they attacked anything. If they just would have stuck with black people, they would have never cared. When they go after police and things of that nature, that's probably the only thing that made them say maybe we should send in an undercover or something. The Black Panther Party was a liberating party that stood up against psychotic white people who weren't going to act right on their own because that's who the fuck they are. The Not Fucking Around Coalition never went out attacking white people. There is a rationalization to the fact that they could have, but they never did. They showed up when white people were acting stupid to make sure nothing went down. And what did the government do? Made up a lie about the leader, using a flashlight to look on a roof, and they said he pointed a gun at a federal agent and put him in jail. And I'm supposed to believe in this government? Here, take a shot that you can't sue us for later. Eat a dick. You can live your life. You can be happy. I get it. But, man, if you're not part of the solution, don't be one of these niggas co-signing their bullshit, man. At least do the same thing you do when white people murder black people and they're doing their thing. Do the same thing you do in that situation, which is be a quiet, bitch-made, obedient nigga. Just sit down and shut the fuck up. Why do you got to go to social media to make sure your white friends know that you like them? You never do that when we get killed. Goddamn, I'm sorry. Point being is that common sense tells you if they wanted to stop these ignorant motherfuckers, they could. They don't because they're their friends, they're their family, they're their cousins, they're a member of the club that they're in. And when black people stand up for themselves, here these motherfuckers come. Not Fucking Around Coalition, gone. Black Panther Party, murdered one of the leaders, put the other one in jail and destroyed his mind. To quote ABM, their record is impeccable. You can be reactionary, but you should not be surprised. Their resume is impeccable. And the thing that I do, which always infuriates me about them, is I put myself in their shoes and I can't see a situation where I would be that type of worthless piece of shit. I cannot figure any situation where I would act like them. I can't find one. I can't find one. Therefore, I don't have empathy for that. I don't sympathize with that. There's no false equivalence. They need to act decent. And they can't even do that shit. This country isn't shit because of them. And they give you images of black people, and there's always some stupid nigga co-signing that shit. And they always have black people in a position to be the voice of reason to keep niggas quiet. So a rapper or an athlete gets in trouble, black people are happy to shit on them. You try to hold a politician accountable, the same black people that will shit on rappers with no evidence other than white people that don't like you either talking about them, you're defending the politician that's pushing a white narrative. And when the next election cycle happens, they're going to do the same thing because they've never got on social media and said, my bad, I won't be that stupid next time. You cannot blindly support a black person that doesn't give a fuck about you, man. It's not too much to ask for you to be black and to look at black people being mistreated and feel something. It's not too much to ask to do that. If we've gotten to that point, man, I don't know where we're at. That's why, again, I say just prepare yourself because as a group, man, we're not there. We're not there. But again, Mac Feasy, the ultimate false equivalence. The ultimate false equivalence. Mac Feasy said, when a white person dies, according to the news, for the next 15 minutes, it's a sad day in America. In America. But when a black person dies, let's go to Craig for the weekend weather update and the 5-day forecast. Once again, sir, preach. Just look at the way that they react. They naturally, organically, and somehow ancestrally feel nothing. I appreciate y'all, man. I needed that. Game wise, I didn't even come close. Almost 11 East Coast. I am past my 3-hour mark. I'm almost at 4. I'm shutting this down, man. A little bit old school flavor, but I'm not going to go 5 tonight. And I need to jump on up out of here. And now that I look at this, I'm realizing, that's funny. Okay, all gravy. I'm going to pull this train into the station. My plan is to give you a bonus show. Perhaps I'll finish football, but I really wanted to get back into the Charlie Kirk thing. I did a terrible job of reviewing games, but my apologies. But I needed, for lack of a better term, this release. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. I thank you for coming aboard and giving me a back and forth. I consider said back and forth to be therapeutic, which makes all of you my de facto therapists. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, I thank you for the session.
Amen, preacher!
Moms taught me how to cook when I was younger. Still love to cook to this day, as we've had many a food conversation on the show. Mom's also taught me to get the number from the young lady so I can be in charge of the situation. That game has served me well to this day and continues to serve me well considering my current social status. Thank you for that game, Moms. Love you. R.I.P. DT. And we don't have a shot ready. R.I.P. DT. Pops taught me to think of all I speak, but speak not all I think. Simply put, that means at times you should either think about what it is you're about to say and or shut the fuck up. Essentially, everything doesn't have to be said. Run what you're about to say through a filter to feel so you can decide if you really need to say it. A short version of that could be don't be emotional. But again, think all you speak, speak not all you think. Pops knew how I was, so he understood that I needed to have that information. Appreciate you, sir. Pops also taught me how to be a man. And you know what? After all that, you know what I never did? I never went to Facebook to check it. Went on that rant. I learned this from the last show, is that people have commented on the show on the Facebook page, because I forget that it goes through there. Okay, we're clear today. But sometime I'll have chat in there, and I never think to go there and look at it. So my apologies to anybody goes there. Mainly the chat room is a Twitch thing, so that's why I don't necessarily go there. But again, R.I.P. DT. Pops taught me how to be a man, and I appreciate that, because I witness those that don't conduct themselves in that manner, and I'm glad I'm not one of those individuals. R.I.P. DT. Wish I would have told you how much I appreciated you, sir, while you were here. R.I.P. DT. As always, I take a shot for Pop. R.I.P. DT. Love you, Pop. It's okay to think it's not illegal yet. If somebody teaches you something, take the time to look into it for yourself. If you accept the teaching without exploring it, you're being taught, you're being led, you're being a sheep. If you take the time to look into it, you're engaging the thought process. You are now learning and you're forming your own opinion. Don't get taught, always learn. Pops also taught me that a man who trims himself to suit everyone will soon whittle himself away, which is why I do not compromise my integrity or who I am as a person for the temporary approval of someone who in all likelihood doesn't give a fuck about me anyway. And to quote the last line of Mass Appeal by the late, great guru, I'll be kicking the reel while they'll be losing the race, trying to chase Mass Appeal. I thank y'all for the back and forth, man. As always, I appreciate it. Please obtain at least one long gun and one short gun. Please get at least 1,000 rounds of ammunition for each. Go to the range and learn how to operate, carry, and function with said weapon efficiently. Teach everyone you love and care about to do the same. Try to develop a mentality that will allow you to not hesitate to defend yourself, your home, your loved ones, and or your property. A good way to do that is to study where you came from, how you got here, and how you've been treated since you've been here. If you do that, I promise you, pulling the trigger will be a hell of a lot easier. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the back and forth. Remember, we are at war. It doesn't have to be declared. It will not be declared by the enemy. We are at war. Act accordingly. Do not allow an outfit to allow you to be terrorized. And again, raise your children and people that you care about accordingly. Tell them what the country is so they will react like they need to in certain situations. If you sell them on as long as you do the right thing, everything will be okay, you're setting them up for failure if you are black, because that's bullshit. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the back and forth. Apologize for not being more thorough on the football, but I enjoy these shows when the chat room takes over. I go on a couple of rants and I get the exchange. So appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all next time. I will try to give you a bonus show this week in which I will probably reset and go into my thoughts on the Charlie Kirk situation. I'll probably reset what I said before, give you my thoughts, and probably elaborate on some of the things that I started on today. So I appreciate y'all, man. As always, take care. We'll see you next time. And be easy. More I think about it, I'm not going to give you a closer today. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all, man. I'll catch y'all next time. As I say to my daughter, deuces.